This is trophi.ai, an AI Rocket League coach, and it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. If you've ever heard of ballchasing.com, it's a lot like that, but on steroids.
You can press P and a pro demo will come up, and this is what's so cool and so unique about Trophi, is that this is not seen anywhere else, and it's just a great way to kind of show you how to do a training pack without having to side by side watch a YouTube video.
And this is actually really cool. Training paths. So you basically, you know the skill trees from Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Sekiro, you know that sort of games where you have to, you get skill points using, you unlock new skills. This is sort of very similar, but instead of actually getting skill points, you're actually doing the mechs. And also a cool feature as well, guys, watch this. You can slow it down. You can actually slow-mo it like this. So if you're really struggling, what you need to do, you can actually look for yourself and just have a look at the exact sort of movements that you're doing there. Look, it's really cool. I really like it. And
alongside helping with mechanics, it also has a feature that analyzes any of your saved replays. That way you can see what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. It even has this cool post-game analysis so that you can see stats from the game you just played.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Time of the season. It's time to crown a champion, and that is only a couple of hours away here, Tino. But before we worry about crowning any champions, first of all, we've got to worry about starting the day and sending one team through to the upper finals and one team down into that lower bracket.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Playoff actions where you want to see the best of the best. And we start off with an upper bracket matchup with Mistaken Purpose versus Nexus Origin. A very interesting matchup. We see the number 1 and number 2 seeds of opposite conferences. I'm very excited to see this match.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Mistaken versus Nexus, our first game here on the B stream. The rest of the matches still to be determined, and we'll find out how those are going to go depending on our playoff bracket. But before we talk about our playoff bracket, let's talk about what has already happened. Let's talk about the play-ins. This is what we've witnessed already throughout the last week. We started things on the Tuesday with Xinjiang versus Unito, a great series there. Moving forward, we saw Xinjiang destroy Hayes as well and move forward into that top 8. And then on the other side of things, in the upper bracket, we saw Nexus Origin take down Gedalians Anubis in a Game 7 thriller to make it to this very matchup. And then obviously we saw the chaos on the other side of the bracket with Calidus taking down DSQ but falling to Vortic Griffle before then in the upper bracket we saw Husky absolutely obliterate Team Berserkers Drengia. 4-0 sweep to make it through into that upper bracket. But we talked a lot about the play-ins here, Tino. Talk to me about the playoffs and how things stand right now.
Yeah, no, we start off today with the upper bracket match of Purpose versus Origin. It will be a best of 7 series, and then we go with Bro Community and Chrome in that upper bracket. That will be on the A stream if you want to see it. Off stream, there will be 2 lower bracket matches with Unitox Xinjiang after those 2 wins going against an Anubis who just lost in a Game 7. And then we have Riffle taking on Drengir, which Drengir is trying to bring back that momentum after getting swept. Riffle trying to continue that momentum going through the lower bracket.
Yeah, they certainly are. And when we talk about the teams that we have left in the tournament right now, when we talk about the teams that are fighting for the title, we've got a bit of a community graphic here. I mean, Tino, it's such a range that we have left here. We've got obviously the #1 seeds of the Glaciers in the Ignis Conference in Mistaken and Bro, who have locked in their upper bracket spots here for today. And then the Ignis Conference having a great day in the play-ins, a couple of days, as Nexus took down Godalians to move forward to that upper bracket matchup versus Mistaken. And then the #3 seed from the Ignis in Chrome took down Glaciers' 2nd seed in Berserkers to keep themselves alive in the upper bracket. So, you know, we saw a lot of people earlier on in the season saying Glaciers was by far the best conference, but so far that has not reigned true. But there's still a lot of Glaciers teams, very powerful ones in that lower bracket, who can certainly make their mark. And obviously we have you know, the team that everyone is predicting to win it pretty much, which is Mistaken, the Glaciers #1 seed. But we've also got some community members who've made their picks as well. Let's take a look at the community playoffs predictions, power rankings, whatever you want to call it here, Tino. I mean, talk to me about this. This is an average of 20 people in Academy's prediction bracket. We know how awful the predictions were last time. Do we feel it's taking the same sort of path again?
Well, I see starting off with a glaring mistake, going down at #12 with Unitox being an average rank of 11. It's saying that they would get dumped straight out of this tournament, but we can clearly see Unitox are fighting here today on this Saturday. Mistaken obviously being the clear favorites with an average rank of 2nd, which means in most brackets they are in the final, with Bro Community most likely to be in that lower final and go crashing out. However, everyone knows when it comes to predicting brackets, none of them is actually properly true. We could see any of these teams win. It's all to play for an Academy. A lower bracket team could make the full run, or one of the 1 seeds could dominate. It just goes down to the day.
It certainly does, but let's not talk about the day. Let's talk about the season as a whole. Let's bring up the team stats here for these teams and see how they've really found this season as a whole here. Mistaken, they've had their fair share of difficulties. They've had, you know, players not being available for certain matches, having to play more sub games than, you know, required to. They've had players who've not had internet for a good 50% of the season in Ethan 2K, and so far since week 3 he's been playing on multiple different hotspots, swapping between different family members' hotspots, hoping for the best. So Mistaken, they've had their fair share of difficulties, but they still remain at the top here with 30 out of 40 possible wins in league play. Nexus have had a bit of a topsy-turvy season, just narrowly missing out on 1st seed with 21 wins. And they've had a bit of a late sort of season roster move around, a bit of a rejiggle, not necessarily with the players here, Tino, but just the positions that they play in. Cairo, who previously held that sub role on the team, has now shifted into the main roster, with Tazik falling back into the sub bench there. And, you know, as we saw in the play-ins, it worked wonders. They took down Godalians and Anubis, who people as a majority thought would get the better of them in that match. So Nexus looking in good form here, but we've got to talk about players who've made the difference, right?
Yeah, no, most definitely we need to go see these individual stats, but showing here as we scroll through, we see JPEG, the captain, 36 games with 40 goals, Ethan 2K as well with 36 goals as well, looking like they're going to be a double threat. Well, we see Nexus here, it's games all around. No one actually played the full amount of games, but the person here who I'm seeing could bring a massive impact going into this series is looking like it's going to be Rakeboy with a 40% shot percentage. He's looking at the one who can be consistent looking in front of goal. However, he does have a low amount of games, so we might not see him play this series, but we never know what's going to happen. And I'm just excited to see this series. 2 great teams sowing with their 1st and 2nd seeds. I'm just excited to see how they play.
Yeah, I certainly am as well, and we'll get to very, very shortly. But I mean, it's been an incredible season for both of these 2 teams, but only one of them can move forward from this side of the bracket. You know, only one of them, you know, can claim a spot in that upper final. And before we get into predictions, I just want to say you're probably the perfect person to have here alongside me, because you were in this exact matchup last season on Aspire, and you ended up getting the 3-0 sweep over the favorites in 20R. Talk about what that situation's like. You know, come at this from Nexus's point of view, right? They're not the favorites in this match. They're very much the team who are going to be trying to, I guess, play off of that underdog momentum almost. What's it like coming into a match like this as an underdog?
Well, going into a match as an underdog is very confusing because you don't really have that much pressure to win because no one expects you to win as much. So you can go into the match with more confidence, you can go in with more vibes with your team, and you can have momentum going through the series, even if you take a game, because you're not expected to at the first place. So once you take a game, you gain momentum, and it brings pressure to that one seed, and that can lead to winning more games.
Yeah. Certainly can be. But yeah, we've got the players in the lobby. But before we get into the actual game, before we kick things off here, we've got to talk about predictions. Tino, where do you see this one going?
So obviously, seeing here, we see Mistaken really being the dominant team throughout the season. But I believe even with these technical issues you speak, I think Nexus can make the upset. But I don't think it will be an easy series. I'm gonna go 4-3 to Nexus Origin as they take the upset and go up to the upper final.
Okay, you've got this one going over to Nexus Origin. I've got this one going to Mistaken Purpose. I think it's going to be a 4-2. I think both of these teams have their storylines, but at the end of the day, I think Mistaken are favourites for a reason. I don't know why that says it's a sweep. I've not said it's a sweep. I said it's a 4-2, and I did say it was a 4-2 beforehand as well. And production shattered. There we go. But yeah, you know what? I'd live for the sweep as well. I really would. So we'll see how all of it is going to go here, Tino. But I think it's time we get this one started. Two teams who have had incredible seasons now fighting for the title, fighting for a chance to continue in the upper bracket, fighting for their season. And well, it all starts here. It all starts now. Let's kick off round number 1.
Yeah, no, this series is going to be enthralling, and everything that it's built, everything you've done this season's build up to this very moment. Two teams who have fought their way up to this upper bracket now need to show how good they are. As we begin game number 1, Mistaken versus Nexus. We see Nexus taking the blue side, Mistaken on the orange. Let's begin this game.
Let's kick it off, and already it's immediately into the aggression for Mistaken Purpose, a team who have been looked at and hailed as the team who should be taking home the trophy here by most people's margins. They've got players who just do what they do. They just peak, they just play to perfection. But Nexus have got players who aren't necessarily, you know, hailed as the greatest players in the tier, but they are hailed as players who know exactly where to be at the right time, and that is what Cairo excels at.
Yeah, brilliant solo play, taking it off the wall, beating the last man. It's an open goal after beating that challenge, and it's just a great start for Nexus.
It really is. First goal over to Nexus Origin here, and a lot of time to turn things around either way. Ethan going for a shot there towards goal, but will be collected by Cairo as JPEG tries to collect the pieces. It will be Ahmed who takes it from all the way back. It's going to be a war here for both of these teams in this series, and you can't take anything for granted. And both of these teams certainly haven't afforded to do that across their entire season. But now Mistaken look to get back on the attack. It's the Ahmed Ethan link up, but it's JPEG who looks to pass it back over. And well, Mistaken not quite able to find the aggressive plays that they need. Rakeboy tries to take it down the other side, but it comes up as just a registered shot here, Tino, and that's all it'll stay as.
Yeah, no, lackluster offense, but here comes a shot from Ahmed. It's denied by Crazy. Can they get the follow-up? No, Cairo's going to get the clear. What will he do to the last man? He tries going for the bump, but it's unsuccessful. Breakpoint now with the shot. JPEG will get it cleared, and it's only just good pressure coming in from Nexus. Demo now coming in from the second man, and Cairo can take control of this ball, and it goes straight to Ahmed off to the corner. Carabite will try to go for the shot, goes off the backboard. Crazy's with JPEG with the shot, but it's a great save coming in from Crazy. Now, Cairo Big clear off to the corner, but Ahmed's going to get the touch and should go right to Rakeboy, who is going to take the touch. He's looking for a shot, but JPEG will just get that final touch to clear it in. Not the best of saves, though, as it hasn't gone off to the side. Cairo now will take it up to the ceiling, though, and Mistaken will take control. Cagey game in the beginning as Ahmed will pass it to JPEG, who has a wide open net. Tie game, the #1 seed, shows why they were such.
Exactly the case. These players are so deadly when you get them in the air, and JPEG, who has been hailed as the best player in this tier the entire season. It's a great pass from Ahmed, but it's moments like this. It's why JPEG is hailed as one of these players who is just there when you need him. And now it's Mistaken who even the scoreline here with half of game 1 still left to go.
Yeah, no, brilliant play from JPEG, showing why he's one of the top dogs in this tier as the demo comes in to get rid of him away from that ball. But Karobite will try to take the shot, but it's going up to the backboard. Ahmed will try to get the touch, but it's unsuccessful. Now, Breakboy tries getting it up, but JPEG is denying him. Crazy now will deny JPEG, and it goes straight into the middle. Ahmed's going to try to go for the shot, but he's too slow to the ball. Breakboy taking control here, and it'll go right to Breakboy and JPEG with a 50. Follow-up 50 to Karobite, who wins that ball. Booms it clear off to the backboard, but Crazy doesn't get the read off the backboard. JPEG gets the shot, but it's missed. Ahmed will now try, but it is off. Hits the post. He was trying to go for that near post finish. Karobite now is going to go for the shot, but it's wide. Cairo should have a free ball, and Nexus should take control. However, JPEG gets involved. Ahmed takes the shot, and it's denied by Rakeboy. JPEG now will take it to the corner. One single touch. Breakboy versus Karabite on the 50. JPEG now will take it to the side. Will he go for the sidewall? He does! It's accurate, but Cairo gets the save. Brilliant defending from Nexus, but they need to get this ball out. Now JPEG will force it to the corner. Ahmed to the backboard. To Cairo by, but it's denied. Follow-up shot from Ahmed, unsuccessful. Is there anyone to go for this ball? No, but Cairo's going to go backwards with 0 boost. Now, Crazy, 50-50 onto the wall. Karabite now clears it off to the backboard once again. Compounding pressure coming in from Mistaken as they take it to the corner once again. A whiff now coming in from Crazy. Straight to Rakeboy, however, who's going to clear it into the midfield. To the right wall now with Karabite. And he's going to pass it right to JPEG, who takes it up to the ceiling, but a 50 from Crazy will take it into the midfield. A cagey game, but Mistaken seem to have all of the pressure coming into it. Cairo now take it to the ceiling. Will he follow this up with a second touch? Will go to the backboard, but Karabite is unsuccessful. We have a Rule 1 coming in from Crazy and Ahmed, and it's almost broken, but there was a bump that was missed. Karabite now will take it to the wall. It's a 2s game coming here. JPEG will get the demolition. Now Cairo will get the touch. It's been broken. The Rule 1 has been stopped. Cairo should have the shot. Rakeboy will follow this up. It's in! 2-1 Nexus. Brilliant defending. And they take the lead.
Nexus take charge here in game number 1 and put MTK Purpose onto the back foot. 42 seconds left to make the difference. And we go back to the center circle to try and find out which of these players is willing to try and do that. Cairo, is he just going to slot it past everyone? It's so awkward here for Mistaken, but they managed to hang on, and maybe they'll get one more chance.
Yeah, huge save, because if that isn't prevented, it's game 1, and that's simple. But they now have 30 seconds left. Breakboy with the demolition. He'll go to Cairo with the shot. It's in! 3-1. That looks like it'll be game number 1 for Nexus.
It certainly does. Nexus, who had the chance to become the more informed team throughout these play-ins, Tino. They've had that practice. They've gone the distance against Gadalians and Anubis in that play-ins. And now, coming into this match, they were certainly viewed as the underdog, but they've been that team who's been putting in the preparation, while Mistaken hasn't really had the opportunity to for a various amount of reasons. That is showing here on the field. Rakeboy, a final touch to seal this game number 1. But it will be nonetheless Nexus's day in the sun here on Manfield Night as they take the first one from Purpose.
Yeah, a great game from Nexus there. They showed cruise control, but it was brilliant defending as well. As we see 8 saves coming in from Nexus Origin. Purpose did build pressure, however, they do need to step up with more efficiency in their shooting and coming into game 2.
I certainly do. Let's have a look at some of these stats here. And across the board, I mean, loads of players making the difference here. As much as you can point out that Crazy was the MVP there in that game, I think Origin played that how they always intend to, Tino, how they always do. It's as a team. They win as a team, they lose as a team, they play as a team, and a lot of that comes from just them understanding how to play around each other very, very well. I think that's two of our best teams in the tier here in this matchup who are like that, and I think it's just going to be a case of who's peaking better on the day. So far, it is Nexus Origin, but obviously, you know, it's a best of 7, excuse me. It's a long series. It takes some warming up to get into things sometimes. And as we go to Forbidden Temple for game number 2, let's see if Mistaken Purpose have turned things around.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll be excited to see what happens this follow-up game. But we will let Hodge take over real quick, because I need to be right back.
Well, the pressure is certainly building. I'd also need a break, to be fair, after that game number 1 from what I've just watched. But yeah, 5 minutes on that clock, game number 2 underway. Let's see if Mistaken can find different fortunes here after that last match. Crazy already diving into that challenge, but JPEG has as well. Rakeboy's missed the ball. This should allow Cairo a free collection though, nonetheless. And Cairo, a player who has really come into his own this season, a new player in the league, but a new player has got to still learn that some of the old dogs can still get it done. It is the Mistaken Disruptance from JPEG, and it's the follow-up there from Ahmed as well. 1-0 Purpose in the first 30 seconds. Well, what a start to this match. But it's got to continue somehow, some way, and that continuation is going to come from Mistaken in this series. Nexus have laid down the law already. They've essentially set the challenge out. But now that challenge gets so much harder as this entire day goes on. But this first series for both of these teams, so crucial to stay in this upper bracket, to maintain your position. If you continue to stay in that upper bracket, obviously you don't have to worry about a bracket reset. You know, some of the stress is almost lifted off as you go further through the day. And 1-0, the scoreline still stands here for Purpose. It's going to get so much more interesting as not just we go through this series, but also just this individual game. JPEG's trying to get that one out to Ahmed, but Rakeboy instantly cuts that one up and stops it from happening. And, well, for anyone who doesn't know what this Mistaken team, you know, is necessarily like in the situations that they are under. They have one player in Ethan playing on a hotspot because he doesn't actually have working internet right now. So it's a little bit back and forth for both of these teams, Tino, but there's certainly chances to be had for both of these teams, and Cairo on the other side will happily capitalize.
Yeah, no, it was just a bit of a cluster on that front post. All three of them on that wrong side. Cairo has a wide open net, so there's a lack of boost. Nexus will get the goal and tie up the game too.
I certainly will. And now we look to see who breaks that deadlock next. JPEG's going to take this one all the way to the back wall. That's a great clear from JPEG, but will be caught there by Crazy. Ahmed looking to keep the pressure going, and JPEG setting himself up for the double tap. Can't quite set up the double itself though, and really hit the mark.
And the demo!
The demo is all that Crazy needs though. Nexus retake the lead, and it's from Crazy's brilliance on that demo that it comes.
Solo play coming in from Crazy, flicks it over the second man, Demo in the last man. A bit of chaos coming into this game number 2 as Nexus now take control going into the center circle. Now Ahmed will take full boost and up to the ceiling. However, he needs to get this ball out, which he does up to the midfield. However, but JPEG has a free ball, mid boost, gets past one, but it's only going to be the shot as Rakeboy will take it to the corner. He has control of this ball. Now, the upset's looking very promising here, but the follow-up shot from Ahmed is off as Cairo beats him to the ball. Now, he's going to follow this. However, JPEG's going to pass it to Cairo by who takes the shot. Rakeboy just gets the save, and it's cleared off to the corner once again. Now, Cairo, booming clear. That's going all the way in. JPEG needs to make the save, which he does. That's huge coming in from Mistaken's ace. Now, into the midfield. Ahmed now double committing with Cairo by here, and it goes to Cairo, but there is no good clears coming in. Now, Rakeboy's awkward, Crazy gets the clearance, and Nexus get away with murder. Cairo now, 0 boost. JPEG's gonna be right on it. Crazy now will pass it onto the corner. Rakeboy beats JPEG to the ball because JPEG has no boost trying to control it. Now, Carabai, flip reset, tries getting past one, but there's a challenge in coming in from Nexus. Ahmed to the corner. He will try to take control, but there's a 50 coming in from Rakeboy. Carabai's messed up, it's in the middle. JPEG will get it cleared. Nexus coming in with full control in game number 2. What will Mistaken do to try and get this lead back?
That's what we're going to try and find the answer to. And it will be Ethan who not going to quite find a touch there. JPEG not able to get the connection either. Nexus are running rings around Mistaken when they get themselves on the attack, and the positioning is being exploited. The shot can't be found. JPEG denied off of that crossbar. Mistaken shooting blanks here, and some of these attempts that you just have to think should have gone different ways. It's a free ball here for Ethan as he's going to try and bring this one over into the corner where JPEG is waiting. But Mistaken are trying to play their way. They're trying to just out-mechanic their opponents. And a lot of teams it may work on, but Nexus is proving difficult here with how in-line their rotations really are.
Yeah, no, brilliant defending coming in from Nexus. Perfect rotations coming in, and now they can build pressure as JPEG tries forcing up, but it will go off to Ahmed, who whiffs and gets demoed. It's Demolition Derbies coming in from Nexus. Rakeboy now will take the booming glare off to the backboard. Ahmed needs the touch, which he doesn't, takes it to the sidewall. Now, who's going to follow it up? It's Ethan, and Crazy with the 50-50. JPEG gets the save. Rakeboy now to the middle. It will bounce. It's in! Rakeboy makes it 3-1, and that looks like it'll be game number 2.
It looks like it could be Mistaken Purpose making the mistakes here as JPEG in front of the goal line lets that one slip in. A 2-goal lead here for Origin, and Purpose, they need a miracle in game number 2 before they are 2-0 down in the series. And I wonder, Tino, are you looking towards a timeout after this one?
Yeah, no, best of 7 series, you need to build time. I think you need to call a timeout here if things don't go your way now. Nexus have full control of this series. It needs to get cancelled off. Brilliant solo play coming in from Crazy, and a great Team Rocket League display coming in from Nexus. They will take game number 2, 3-1. It's brilliant Rocket League coming in from Nexus in this Academy tier. And what looks for the number 1 seed, who has had so much control throughout this whole season, what will they do to prevent this?
I don't know. They've called the timeout to try and make that happen. But yeah, I mean, I think you've got to slam that panic button at this point here. A whole season of dominance in the Glaciers Conference, a whole season of disruptance where they've, not really had, they've had issues to do with internet. They've had issues to do with, availability, but they've not had issues beating teams on the field, and that is where the issues might start to appear here and now, Tino. But that's the thing you talked about across the season. This is why playoffs is so different. It's so on the day. It's so, here and now. And I mean, it's just where some teams find that make or break. For Mistaken Purpose, it really feels like a lot of it is they're a little bit nervous, and a lot of that I can attest is due to some of the pressure that people have been putting on them to get this one done. People have been saying to this team for the entire season that it was won in the draft, the tier was already done. And while it was a good draft, Academy being Academy, it's never that simple. It really isn't. So now that we see a situation like this, you've got to think, is it that pressure of having to win, to live up to everyone's expectations, especially for players like Ethan who are so engrossed in the Academy content? We run the Academy Cooldown podcast together where everyone's always giving opinions on who they think should be winning. And, I hope that Mistaken as a team aren't too caught up in what everyone else has to say about them, and, are able to, at the end of the day, sit down and think, how do we do this? How do we take it into our own hands? And how do we come across the line here and bring things back in the series? Because right now, it's starting to get away from them. And if I'm completely honest, as much as the scorelines in some of the games have been pretty close, I think for the most part, they've been kind of battered so far this series.
Yeah, no, it seems Nexus really has had most of that control throughout this full series. And what Mistaken really need to do is control the midfield. Because what's really happening here is that they can get it to the corners, they can make some pressure, but however, they have the lack of help throughout their second and third man to actually convert the chances and create more chances when it comes to it. And if they get more control and they can create more accurate shots, they can most definitely come back into this series. The number one seed is always something that builds pressure on a team because they have all the expectations of winning the whole team, winning playoffs and everything. And that will build pressure, especially if you're reading what everyone's saying. If Ethan's in your Academy podcast here, it builds more pressure for him to win the tournament because everyone views him of winning the tournament. What really needs to happen is a slowdown in their game and to create more pressure as we go into game number 3. Mistaken absolutely need to win this game because they cannot be in a situation where they have to reverse sweep in a best of 7 series. We've only seen it twice in the RSC, with Team Serene doing it twice in RSC 16. I'm very excited to see what happens in game 3. Mistaken really need to guarantee us that we are going to go to a game number 5.
Well, this series has a destiny ahead of it. Will that destiny be a 4-0 sweep, or will that destiny be a redemption arc from Mistaken Purpose? It's been bleak so far this series, but how do you claw things back, or do you just bow down to the craziness that Nexus as a team have developed this whole series?
Yeah, no, beautiful shot coming in from the kickoff. Ethan's backflip trying to get this save. And what is just the worst possible start going into game number 3 in a must-win game. Now, Ethan's going to get that 50 off to the backboard. Will there be a follow-up shot? Breakboy's missed, but Cairo will get it cleared. There's always someone there. The second man's always there to clear up if there's any mistakes coming in from the first man. And JPEG will try and build pressure. Reset coming in. Ethan has an open net. And we have a tie game. Mistaken aren't going to make any more mistakes like that. And they're going to bring back this game. It's 1-1, all to play for.
That's an amazing touch there from JPEG to get that one middle. Absolutely disgusting from a player who is just the playmaker of the tier, who is always hailed at, being able to make this kind of stuff happen. And he's really struggled to find, an opening here so far this series. This is where that could start to turn around, though. Players like JPEG have got to be mentally leading this roster for Mistaken, or nobody will. I think, JPEG as a player, he's got that experience. He's experienced the highs and lows of, for example, RSC 12, where he fell in this upper bracket position, went to lowers, did the whole lower bracket run, and stumbled in the final series, in the bracket reset of the grand final, to lose the tier and come second place. JPEG knows what it means to do bracket runs here on a playoffs day, and he's got to instill that belief into his teammates, Ethan and Ahmed, who have been playing together as a duo for the past 3 seasons now, have never made postseason before. This is their first time, and it comes in the form of the number 1 seed. Such a difficult place to mentally come from. And now they've got to try and come back from a 2-0 deficit in this first series of the day.
Yeah, I know JPEG really needs to show himself as the glue for Mistaken, as Ethan and Ahmed don't have as much playoff experience. JPEG tries getting the flick, but it's unsuccessful. As Mistaken now really need to build more pressure. Demo coming in from crazy on the last man. Really vulnerable position here for Mistaken, because one clear could cause it off. Rakeboy has a ton of space to try and get the shot, but it's 15 off to the corner. Cairo with the shot to Rakeboy, but he's off with the placement of his backflip. Now, Ethan will try and take the flick. Crazy gets it straight up into the air. Cairo will get the touch, and it's going to pinch it all the way back. Rakeboy should have this next touch, which he does, and he takes it to the wall, but it's unsuccessful, and he will back pass it to Cairo. Cairo now with the shot. Ethan needs the save. He gets the pinch. It's going to go to Rakeboy. The follow-up is not good, as Ethan will get the double save. Interesting plays coming in from Nexus. Rakeboy gets the infield pass, and Nexus take the lead in game 3. It's 2-1. Origin show why they should be in this upper final.
Look, I said it since the start. Nexus are a team that people cannot doubt. They cannot overlook. This team can dish out the damage, and they are rotationally making a meal of Mistaken Purpose.
Yeah, no, they're exploiting every last weakness that it shows, and it's just mentally rattling to see as Mistaken are really crumbling up to this pressure. so much control in their academy tier, but they're not really showing it on the big stage. Cairo almost tried getting that follow-up, but Ahmed gets the clear. The follow-up shot and the dunk attempt from Ethan. Now, Great Boy's in the air looking for the redirect. He gets the dunk off to Crazy. Cairo should have an open net. 3-1 Nexus, and it looks like they'll have cruise control of the series.
Nexus are bullying them out of the upper bracket. Origin put through another one. It's a 2-goal lead here for the second seed of the Ignis Conference, but who have made the improvements to try and become the first seed of the entire tier. But it's not going to come that easily, and the pressure will instantly fire itself back the other way. It's a save on the goal line there from Nexus as they keep the pressure at bay, and Crazy found a demo onto Ethan in the back lines. Rakeboy's just going to try and get this one center as Cairo looks for the shot. But it's so difficult for both of these teams, more so for Mistaken Purpose, who are finding things so difficult rotationally, and they're catching each other here, there, and everywhere, Tino. This series is, was hailed as something that could be really close, but it's a bit of a domination right now.
Yeah, no, I think we're just seeing the jangling nerves coming in from Mistaken. There's too many overcommits and double commits, and whiffs are coming in. As we see Nexus now going to get that cleared off to Rankboy, who's going to force it up to the corner. Ahmed needs this touch. Gets a booming clear, but it's only up to Cairo, who will get control, but the bomb comes in. Rankboy has time to get the boost and will control this ball. 2 touches now. Rankboy is going to try to go for the solo play, but JPEG forces it to the corner. Ahmed will get a touch because JPEG tried clearing it, but Ahmed will take control. Now, he clears it once. Will he try to get this 50 with Crazy? Crazy will get this attempted shot. JPEG will get the clear off to the side. Rankboy now will slam it down. It will be a waterfall, but JPEG will get that touch to control it. Now, Crazy up in the air looking for the shot. Unsuccessful. Rankboy is going to go for the 50, but Ahmed and Ethan have also double committed. Now, Ahmed will try control, but he has minimal boost. And he will clear it out to the wall. Left side now, Rankboy is gonna miss. Attempted shot coming in, but Crazy gets the clear. Mistaken are building some pressure here, but is it too little, too late? No, JPEG doesn't get the goal. The follow coming in from Ahmed to the corner. Now, Cairo's gonna clear it off to the other side corner. Can Nexus build some pressure off this? One touch from Ethan. Crazy will be onto the backboard. It's rolling into the net, but Ahmed will get it cleared. Final 10 seconds. Mistaken need a goal, but I don't think it will come now in regulation time. Nexus is gonna take game number 3, and now a reverse sweep is necessary for upper bracket hopes to stay alive. The timeout buff was unsuccessful, and Nexus take control.
They absolutely do. Nexus look absolutely incredible here on Playoff Saturday. And my goodness, they are just rotationally getting the better of Mistaken Purpose time and time again here, Tino. It is disgusting what we are watching on our screens. And, Nexus as a team who they've not looked incredible for a good proportion of the season, but they've made that change in week number 5. They brought Cairo into the main roster, and I actually got the chance to speak with Cairo, which you'll see a little bit later on the main broadcast before the grand final. And he said to me, that he just thinks that they are the best team, not just in the conference, in the tier, that, they are just the best at their roles. That, that the way they look at things, they've had a bit of a role switch as well. Cairo is that first man who's applying that pressure. Crazy is described by his teammate as the best third man in the tier, and Rakeboy just knows how to play that second man position better than anyone. That is what they say about themselves, and they've certainly backed it up here in this series so far. Now is the struggle in itself. Can you close the series? Can you finish what you started? And can you stop Purpose from getting an eye in to this series? Because it's not over yet. We've seen plenty of reverse sweeps before, but now is where Purpose have got to pull something from nothing, and Nexus have got to close the chapter on Purpose's upper bracket and season domination.
Yeah, no, Nexus needs to call this series off quickly, because you don't want to give Mistaken any momentum coming into this game if there is a game number 5 necessary. And now it's time to show why you are truly the best team in the academy tier. Cairo's gonna go! JP's gonna start off the series, but a howling mistake coming in from Nexus.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it happens to the best of us. It really does. It's the start of a journey here for Purpose. They've been given a gift, and now they've got to try and make something of it. One game at a time, 5 minutes at a time. I'm certainly looking at JPEG here to lead his teammates through battle for the rest of this series, however long it may be. Ethan looking for the sidewall double. It's going to be taken away, and it will fall back to Ahmed in this corner. Mistaken, almost slowing things down, halting their aggression and allowing themselves to get back in the rotation. It's a great pop from Ahmed, but the follow-up is lackluster, and this now gives Nexus an opportunity. You see Rakeboy trying to turn on that one, but it's taken away, and Purpose you know, sort of, they look like they've improved rotationally already, I have to say.
Yeah, no, most definitely. The fake is coming in, but Ethan gets the clear. But no, you see some rotational improvements coming in from Mistaken now, and it just looks like they could try to build some control and dominate this series like they should be doing, really, as the #1 seed with such a big lead. However, Nexus is definitely not going to go down with this 1-0 game. JPEG goes to the redirect, but Crazy gets it to the crossbar. Perfect save coming in from him. Ethan tries the shot, but it's too high, and Rakeboy will get it clear off to the corner now. JPEG will get one singular touch. Ahmed will get it back to the corner, faking it from JPEG, but the clear is made. Rakeboy now is going to take the touch. Crazy will now get it into the middle. Demolition coming in, but JPEG is going to have that cleared. Now, Ethan to the corner, tries getting it middle, but Cairo's going to be there. Now, it's going to go straight to Cairo. Nexus will have control, but Cairo has no boost, and it's going to go with a 50-50 with Ahmed. Now, Ethan tries getting it to the middle. Unsuccessful there. Ahmed tries going for a JPEG now. Is going to force it to the corner. He has a high tank, but he's not going to get any more control. Now, Ahmed is going to take it to the side wall, and it just looks like a cagey game here as Mistaken are trying to avoid this sweep desperately. Nexus trying to finish this as quick as possible. Good shot there. A cagey game 4 as we speak right now, and no one knows who could possibly win this series.
No one knows. The answer has been sort of essentially laid down by Nexus, and they've got one final job to do, one final killing blow to deliver here to the upper bracket hopes of Mistaken Purpose. And it's swirling around that offensive half here. Crazy pop-up, going to be bumped off of the plate. Ethan, that's not the greatest touch, and it's not really going to give Purpose a lot of purchase onto the ball here. Crazy trying to intervene. JPEG, a touch out to that corner. Purpose have got to sort of stem the bleeding here before it gets so much worse, and it's a JPEG pop to the back wall. Ethan looking for the double, just a little bit wide. 2 minutes left of this one, Tino. Lead still held on to by Purpose, but Nexus are going to be encroaching down the pitch, hunting to try and bring that one back level.
Yeah, no, the pressure, you can see it's building coming in from Nexus as Rakeboy's going to try to take control with minimal boost. He goes for the shot. JPEG will try to get control. He gets one touch. He pinches it off to the wall, but there's a double coming in from Mistaken. However, Ethan will get the touch and recover it. All the mistakes that happened. Ahmed will try for the shot. It's in. 2-0 Mistaken. They build control.
What a touch there from Ahmed. A great setup from JPEG. And all it needed was a little bit of swaz on it, Gromit. Ahmed, a touchdown for the second. The double from Purpose, but still only a step towards the first game in what would be a monumental redemption arc in the upper bracket.
Yeah, no, this momentum needs to improve. You want to win this series. However, Rakeboy's going to try get it into the middle. Crazy will get the shot, and the lead has been halved. Brilliant play from Rakeboy, even with zero boost. And Crazy has one of the most wide open nets he will ever have in his RSC career. 2-1 now. This lead isn't safe.
It certainly isn't, but you can't let this one slip. You really, really can't. And it's the final chance that Mistaken will have to try and make an impact before they find themselves out of the upper bracket. They'll still have the chance to push back in the lower bracket, but that's such a difficult task in itself. And you obviously want that upper bracket buff. 2-1 here in game number 4. And Nexus attempting to go for that 4-0 sweep. Ahmed, it's not the greatest touch. I like the idea, but with no boost on JPEG and Ethan, that's such a risky play to go for. Rakeboy, a pop-up here, 30 boost to work with, going to try and get it over the top of everybody and come down for the dunk. It does not matter because Crazy's there with a follow. 2-2, tight situation. It's Rakeboy doing the dirty work for Nexus.
Yeah, no, brilliant mechanical play from Rakeboy. He was trying to get that final dunk, but JPEG makes the good first save, but he doesn't have boost or time to recover for Crazy's final shot. We have a tie game here in game number 4. Nexus gunning for this sweep. Rakeboy will take it to their own corner. However, Ethan will get it into the middle to Ahmed, but it's unsuccessful. Crazy now. Bad touch there. JPEG's going to try and go for this double time. It's unsuccessful. Cairo will clear off to Crazy. Crazy to the corner. Back to Cairo, unsuccessful. Now, to the backboard. Rakeboy's going to try and control this. 50-50 there. No, Ethan just gets a touch. Straight into the middle now. Will there be a final shot in the 0-second blitz? Ethan now will get the next touch. No, he won. 50-50 now. JPEG will try and go for the shot. Ethan will almost go for it, but it's unsuccessful. We've got overtime.
The Coliseum is where it is do or die in every meaning of the word, but JPEG chooses to survive here. He finds the crucial goal off of Rakeboy's miss, and it's life left here for Mistaken Purpose.
Yeah, no, they continue their run in this upper bracket. It's a great way to start off the reverse sweep. However, they do need to continue making this pressure, making this domination of games. Otherwise, it will just fall short and Nexus could win this series. 3-1 now, and this isn't over just yet. The number 1 seed show why they were such in this game number 4.
Certainly do. Well, to give some updates as to what's happening around the Academy globe right now, it's going to game 5 between Vortic Riffle and Berserker's Drengia in that best of 5 in lower round 1. There's Discord streams happening for that game in the RSC Discord, so make sure to go and check that one out as well. Godalians take down Unitox Xinjiang in a 3-1 fashion to move forward to play against Bro to Joms, who lose to Chrome Husky, I believe, in a, or unless the bracket's bugged, actually, don't take my word for that one yet. Husky 2-1 up in their series right now, so anything can still happen, and it seems the bracket is already pre-jumping the matchup as they have purpose in the lower bracket as well already, and that one still isn't quite done. So Tino, it really could go any which way, but for now, it is very much looking like some of these underdog teams are pulling the upsets. And now we have to see if the reverse sweep can continue to follow its way through. It is a long road to start the journey to belief. The first game, the first step has been taken by Mistaken Purpose. What's one more? What's two more? What's going the whole distance? Let's find out. Beckwith Park for game 5.
Yeah, no, madness is happening currently in this Academy playoffs. Almost into the top corner from Cairo. Good save there from JPEG. Follow-up shot, it's a bouncer. Ethan gets the save. And we start off hectic in this game number 5. However, we need to see more efficiency coming in from Nexus because those are 2 great chances now. JPEG will get a reset. Can he continue it? No, he can't because 2 people go up from Nexus as a double commit. However, Ethan now will take it to the wall. But yeah, all of RSC currently is absolute chaos. Godalians finish off their job, get through this lower bracket as we get the 3-1 win over Unitox Xinjiang. Their run is over, and we just see how this Academy tier, anything can happen as neither 1 seeds are in the lead in either of their series.
There's some dangerous teams in that lower bracket as well. The likes of whoever loses this series. Talk about doing lower bracket runs. Masters and, you know, the rest of Godalian certainly know how to do that. He's done it before in RSC 12, right until the very last moment. But guess who was on his team in that moment? It was JPEG on Visionary. And now it's looking like Purpose are trying to clear a Visionary to success and redemption. But still a long way to go in this series. Still 0-0. Still chances to be had. And a great pop-up there from Ethan to that back wall. Ahmed's going to follow it through as the defense can only stand and watch as Mistaken Purpose take the lead in game 5.
Yeah, no end-to-end stuff. Ahmed will take the first goal, and it's more efficiency coming in from Origin throughout this game number 5 compared to the other 3 games, which they did lose. And we're seeing now more of that team plays coming in from Nexus or from Mistaken, and we'll see who will take control now of this game number 5. Nexus do have a
touch.
1-goal lead. The follow-up is unsuccessful. And now Ethan will be up the ceiling. Tries going for it full way, but it's unsuccessful. But Ahmed will now have a slow roller. Not in just yet. JPEG tried the follow-up, but it's unsuccessful. KG game 5 as we speak. And anything can happen right now.
Mistaken bringing out the mechanics, and it's no doubt about it that this team has 3 of the best mechanical players in the tier. Absolutely. Ethan down from above, looking to go for goal, but Cairo is certainly proven himself as one of the best saviors in the tier. Here, this series, his third man is just as good as his first, and it's the role he previously used to play before Nexus made that change up, before they made that positional switch on this team, and that change for the sub role as well. It's found them great success. And the proof in the pudding was that series versus Godalians back on Tuesday. But now Mistaken are looking to step up their defense as well, push back on some of these counter-attacks, push back out of a 3-0 deficit in the series. And they're more than well on their way to doing that just now, but it means nothing if they drop the ball at any given time for the remainder of this best of 7.
Yeah, no, Mistaken do need to keep this consistency going through. They don't have any more lives left in this series. They've lost all of it. They're down to their final. Now, off to the backboard. Double miss there. Breakpoint misses the shot. Yes, that was the chance that Nexus should have taken. However, JPEG now is going to lead the counter-attack. Ahmed is going to try to go up, but Cairo's going to have it cleared. Breakpoint now, going to get the pinch. And he's willing to follow this up. No, he won't, because Ethan's going to be there. Now, it's going to go try into the middle, but it slides up. It's a bad bounce. JPEG is up for this, up to the ceiling. Ahmed will take it to the side, but it's not the best of double touches that you need in order to continue offense. Now, Ahmed will clear it to the side, into the middle. Cairo will get the clear, and it will just need more boosting time is needed for Nexus here, but they're spending it all, and they're down 1. Now, Crazy will take it to the backboard. Double whiff here coming in from Mistaken. A bump coming in from both sides, and it will take it to the side right for Cairo to have a free ball. Now, he takes it to the side. Will he pass it to Rake? It's a whiff coming in from Ahmed. JPEG will take it to the corner. Ethan will not be going for the shot here. He's lacking the boost. And now, it's just an end-to-end game here. Once again, Nexus do need this goal in order to even have it to be a tie game, because this lead is not safe whatsoever. Only 1 goal splits the 2 teams currently. Who is going to win this game number 5?
Oh, that's a horrible mistouch there, and it's a demo to open the lane. Ethan has to get back into the rotation and does, as Ahmed's going to collect this ball and try and get back into the play as well. Crazy touching it out to the side, but Ethan is there to continue this pressure. 30 seconds now for Mistaken, and that's a big whiff there from JPEG to exploit the backlines. Ahmed needs something there, but can't quite move the mouse into the right position, and the keyboard is a little bit stuck as well. JPEG with a double tap from up high allows Ethan with the follow-up, but denied again by Crazy. Nexus are pushing back, but they can't push forward. It does not matter because Ahmed is there from the sidewall for the 2-goal lead for MTK. They're pushing back and they want this reverse sweep.
Yeah, no, it's better offense coming in from MTK there. Ahmed with a brilliant shot as the Dueling Dragons roar for Mistaken to take this lead, and will take game number 5, and we could force a game number 6 situation where if you go down by 2 games and you need to finish off a series, is the timeout here really a necessary call, or do you wait if needed to either finish the series or go to a game 7?
I don't know. I'd be pressing the button very, very shortly. Nonetheless, I'd probably, do it here, to be honest. Just to, yeah, and there we go. The call for the timeout comes through from Nexus. They press the panic button, and my goodness, Mistaken Esports. What, are you really going to do this? Are you really going to do the reverse sweep here to keep your upper bracket hopes alive? It would certainly be a series to remember. But Nexus, they look dangerous. They look unforgiving. And, as they press that timeout button, I think more than anything, it's just going to be to calm things down a little bit here, Tino. One of the hardest things to do in a series like this, and, you'll know that just as well, is close the series. If this was last season, the series would already be done. It would be over. And, it would be a 3-0 sweep. It would be Nexus moving forward into that upper final. That's not the case. This is what best of sevens, bring into the mix here. And one of the hardest things to do, like we've mentioned, is close that series. And you know what? Nexus, if that's how they fold, I feel really, really bad for them because they played so well this entire time. But that timeout is put on the clock at the top of our screens here. And we're going to get to find out as we go to Neo Tokyo if this journey is going to end here for Mistaken and Nexus are going to surge through to an upper bracket final, lock in the top 3, or if this is going the whole distance. I mean, a cinema series for sure. And as we look across the entire tier, Drengia get the Game 5 win over Vortic Riffle to go through against the loser of this series. That is Jim Jams, Janzo, and Blind. So a difficult matchup here for whoever loses this one, but an even more difficult one for the winner as well, which will either be Chrome Husky or Bro Choms. And right now, Chrome Husky 3-1 up in that series. So Tino, it doesn't get any easier no matter what happens.
Yeah, no, it's really dominated by the top 3 teams here on both sides. All of the top 3 teams on both teams are showing why they had that upper bracket bye going into Saturday. And now it's just going to be a thing of who has the commitment and that the true will of winning to see who's going to take this series here. Nexus here having a 3-2 lead. However, a Game 7 is looming here as Mistaken do have all this momentum and they could make this reverse sweep happen. The first reverse sweep that could happen in these playoffs. It could be absolute history here. We've already seen it happen last season in the same tier with Serene. Can this happen once again with Nexus losing to Mistaken 4 games to 3? I'm excited for this. I want to see a Game 7, but it's down to the players to see what happens.
It certainly is. And well, the final few seconds of this timeout will tick down. And then we will get started here once again under the lights of Neo Tokyo before a potential final clash on Champions Field. But will we get that? Or will the timeout buff prove worthy for Nexus Origin, who have slowed down the pace of this series, halted, pressed the panic button? Let's see if it finds them any answers as we go to game number 6, as Mistaken continue to attempt this reverse sweep.
Yeah, this will be a very interesting game. JPEG with a double tap on the door! The Geek starts it off early. 9 seconds in with mechanical play. And Mistaken take the early lead. And JPEG's trying to force that 7th game.
When you need consistency, you call JPEG. When you need mechanics, you call JPEG. When you need a competent captain, maybe you don't call JPEG. But, you know, for the rest of the things he's pretty good at here in the Academy tier. And so is the team around him as well. That one will instantly shatter anything that has been worked on in that timeout by Nexus Origin. And JPEG will break the backs of the defense in the first 15 seconds or so, but it's more than a 15-second game. It's a 5-minute long game here, Tino. And Nexus, we've seen the kind of pressure they can bring in response. We've seen what they can do when they're behind in a game. Most notably, Game 7 against Gadalians and Ubis, where Gadalians found themselves 2-0 up, and Nexus came back to win it 3-2. This team, they can clutch up, they can ice up, but can they do it against a team who is threatening the iciest of all icy plays in RSC?
Yeah, Nexus's mentality and their eyes will be tested here, as now Mistaken have all the momentum in the world. It feels like Nexus, what they had has been completely zapped away, as JPEG has been showing his masterclasses here. And now Crazy will clear it into the midfield, and it goes straight to Ethan up to the ceiling. And it slides down here. Kyron will try and go for the shot, but JPEG once again is there. Now, Breakboy will try and get it into the middle, but he's unsuccessful. Crazy now, off to the corner. It bounces down. JPEG will get the clear once again. Just straight to Ethan now. Can he try and get this double tap? He gets the second touch and slides in! It's 2-0 Mistaken. And whether it's fortune or calculated moves, it's a goal for Ethan.
A brilliant read there by Ethan. It is electricity running through the veins of Mistaken Purpose. And my goodness, I spoke to Ethan earlier today. He said he was very nervous about not just this series, but the whole day as a whole. coming into this in the #1 seed, having that pressure to perform is not easy, and having to live up to it even harder. But my goodness, are they on a path and a road to greatness, to bringing things back to Game 7 and potentially looking to pull off that reverse sweep? Not many teams are able to do it. But led by JPEG, a player with so much experience, it could all turn to greatness, but it could all turn back to Cairo, who finds the response, cuts that lead in half. And it was never going to be simple, was it, Tino?
No, it never was going to be simple, with a beautiful shot coming in from Cairo straight to the left side. And no chance of either mistaken defender going for this save. And it goes back to the center circle. Everything Nexus was talking about. Let's see if it comes to fruition here. The dunk coming in from Ethan now. Will he force it into the middle? But there's a 50-50 attempted rule one there, but it's unsuccessful to lock in with Cars. Now, off to the backboard, but Cairo will have full control. No 50-50 there. It's JPEG now will have control of this ball. It's a high-flying one, and it will not be going in. JPEG can't find the finish. And it goes to Ahmed, who's unsuccessful as Rake Boy will get the touch. Now, demolition coming in from Rake. And it's a double demo. Now, Nexus have all the pressure in the world. Can the shot come out? No. Cairo has to sit back as third. And he has to stay back right here because he has to keep that defensive line because they cannot afford to concede. Now, Cairo, straight up dunk by Rake to Ahmed, who gets that full clear. It's up to the midfield. And Cairo will now take control of this ball. Now, as we see Mistaken here for trying to force this comeback, as they've been fighting with their upper bracket life, and it shows to be in fruition as they're not even avoiding to lose anymore. They're going for this win as Ethan now has a shot. It's 3-1 Mistaken. We could be seeing 7.
We very much could be. It's a 2-goal lead restored here for Mistaken Purpose, as they are pushing to bring this one all the way back. 1 minute 30 left on this clock, Tino, before Destiny could take itself all the way to the precipice of this series.
Yeah, no, it could. It's reached the summit of this series. Champions Field is calling now. But there is demolitions here as Nexus are trying to destroy that possibility. Cairo now to the backboard. Ahmed is awkward. JPEG needs to clear to the corner, but it's going to go right to Crazy, who's going to get 50 with Ahmed. Brilliant defending from Mistaken. They have control of this series. They have control of this pressure, and they have control of this game. However, Cairo's going to try flip the script. Now, Ethan will get the air dribble. And it will go straight to Rake Boy, who tries going for the shot. JPEG will get it straight to the corner. He'll get it cleared, and he'll beat the first man. Can he get it past the second? Yes, he can. But will there be a pass into the middle? No, there won't. Unless Crazy might make a mistake, but he won't. Ethan will tuck that straight in. Now, off to the midfield. Straight to Ahmed, who will sling it up into the ceiling. And it'll go straight to Ethan, who has the air dribble, has control, but Crazy has the save as well. Now, JPEG, can he force this into the middle? A bump coming in. Ahmed will try the shot as he tries turning on it. Rake Boy tries the open net. A bump's coming in now to Rake. Bombs coming in from Cairo. And a shot coming in from Crazy, but it's wide. And now, final 10 seconds is coming. And there's a wide open net for Mistaken. They will take it. We're gonna see a Game 7.
Mistaken have brought it all the way back. What better way to kick off this series, to kick off this day, excuse me, than to go the distance, to have a potential reverse sweep from Mistaken or a reverse sweep denial. My goodness, we are witnessing cinema here in Academy for not the first time. Cairo will find one at the buzzer, but it won't matter because, ladies and gentlemen, ask me this after Game 3, I'd call you an idiot, but we're going to Game 7, we're going to Champions Field, and Mistaken Purpose might just do it.
Yeah, all the momentum's going to Mistaken Purpose, but can that 0-second goal be influential for their tournament life? As we see here on the other side of this upper bracket, Bro Community have taken this series to a Game 6 as well. They're trying to force 7, and we are ready for this Game 7 after this minute break, and I'm excited to see what happens.
My goodness, what are we witnessing across the Academy tier? It is It really is. I don't want to hear it. It is the best tier that RSC has to offer by every single margin. You just see craziness unfold, don't you, Tino? And I mean, it's entertainment at its finest. Yeah, we're going to get into game number 7 here, and we're going to settle the score between these two teams. Mistaken, now with it all to do, now with a job to finish, Nexus Origin are going to feel absolutely robbed if they walk away with this with a loss. And bouncing back in the lower bracket is so tough for either one of these teams after the mental roller coaster that they will be brought on. But regardless, that roller coaster must come to an end either way. Will it be with a crashing success on this reverse sweep, or will it be a halt for either one of these teams? Game 7 demands greatness. Nexus have done it before. Can they do it again, or will Mistaken ice up in the reverse sweep? Well, it's time to find out. Whack 5 minutes on that clock. No, not like this. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, it's disastrous from the beginning. JPEG gets the kick up, but Kairo's missed, and it's off the bounce, and it's straight into the net. Mistaken will take the lead in game 7.
Absolute scenes here for the second time today. Cairo, an unfortunate touch to bring the lead into Mistaken's hands, and you can see it on the webcams. They are laughing at their opponents, but can they close things out? Still a lot of time left on the clock, and you can see Nexus, they look a little bit uneasy. They look like a team who's been put through the thick of it. And on the other side, Mistaken are red hot with revenge seeking after those first 3 games. That's a great pop from JPEG. Ethan looking to follow up the touch, and it will be brought back over to this sidewall. Mistaken as a team have been on such a journey this season. It has been, I've spoken to all 3 of these players, great friends of them all. And a great season for both of them here, for all 3 of them here, Tino. They've all really enjoyed it, and they said regardless of this result, they've just, they're quite happy that they've just had fun this season, and that's what it's all about here in RSC.
Yeah, no, the fun is definitely what you need coming into a series like this. However, you also need this series momentum, which Nexus now have none of it. The mentality might be through the window. However, Rakeboy's going to try force one as he pops up to the backboard. A team bump coming in. They have wasted some time here. Now, air dribble from JPEG straight to Crazy though through the backboard. Ethan's missed. Wide open net. It's going to go in. Game 7 is tied. This series is not over. Nexus have a lead back.
You cook a little bit too hard, and you might get burned here. That's what Mistaken have just experienced. And they might still have to rein things in just yet, because Nexus Origin are not done. But Ethan will bring things into the corner. A pop to the ceiling, a great touch, trying to bring it all the way down, and Armin can't quite get on the end of it. It's mechanics on display, but it won't get them very far here under the pressure. It comes down to the mental fortitude that both of these teams have at this point, and it's infield, a free touch here for Rakeboy. He's opted to take things low, and this should now sort of swing the baton back into JPEG's hands. Somebody's got a challenge. Everyone's scared, and why shouldn't he be when JPEG has got that much space to work with? Someone's just got to challenge it.
Yeah, the 50-50 needs to happen when someone like JPEG is going for that double tap. You can't give him a free backboard, and he shows why you should fear him on that backboard, as the double tap is successful and has taken a doubled up advantage when it comes to the goals in this game number 7. JPEG showing why he is the man with the experience, but this is an open net. Can the bump happen? No, JPEG gets the save. It's brilliant defending here coming from Mistaken, and JPEG is showing why most people call him the best in this tier, because he's having one brilliant series after this reverse sweep attempt. Now, Rakeboy is going to try to pop it up, but JPEG's going to get that cleared again. It feels like I'm saying that all the time, and it's too repetitive. Now, Ethan, challenge up to the corner, straight to Ahmed. Now, it's going to be just jangling nerves in that corner and 50-50s that are just clashing with each other. Ahmed gets the touch. JPEG tries forcing it, but Cairo gets the save straight to the corner. Now, Ethan will try get this to the wall, and he does, but Kairo's the only person that can get a touch because no one reads off a Mistaken. Now, Crazy gets one touch. Breakboy's going to try force it off to the backboard. It's going to go down into the middle, no it won't because JPEG gets it clear. Crazy now goes up to the wall, and he'll try force it right, but it's unfortunate. Wide open net, but no one's there for Mistaken as they've been fighting for the defensive lives. Now, Breakboy to the corner. He's going to try control it with 0 boost. Cairo to the corner. JPEG will try clear it. Crazy's up for it with the 50, but JPEG gets the second touch. And Ahmed's missed it. Now, JPEG's going to force it. He's going to try get this into the middle. He has minimal boost, which he does, but no one's there because no one trusted him. Ethan has the shot! And it's 3-1 Mistaken. It's looking like they've done it.
JPEG opens up the lane, and then the hot shot of Mistaken Esports comes through for the follow-up. Mistaken Purpose have been on a redemption arc and a revenge tour the past 4 games and are 1 minute and 20 seconds away from closing the deal here against Nexus.
Yeah, no, they're so close to reaching the summit of this reverse sweep. But obviously there's only 2 goals left in this, and there's only 1 minute left. You need to close off this series immediately. Demolition coming in from Ethan onto Rake, and now just pressure's just resetting. Ethan now, he's going to be up for it, and B's Rake to it. Will there be a goal from JPEG? No, it won't. Off to the corner. Ahmed will try and force it into the middle through the corner. Now, Ethan, wide open net again! 4-1! Game 7's looking like this will finish in a way of a Mistaken victory, and history will be made in RSC 17. 4-1 in Game 7.
From the depths of 3-0 down in the series to the destruction of a reverse sweep, Game 7 beckons for only the elite. The upper bracket final beckons for only people who want to call themselves champions. And my goodness, 30 seconds away, Mistaken are from locking top 3 in the most dramatic way possible.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not the way most people would have predicted how Mistaken would have taken this series. However, Ahmed will try and go for this double tap. He'll get it into the middle, and Ethan will not be able to get this finish. Now, Crazy will clear it. They need to score quickly, but time's ticking. Time is falling. The sand is emptying, and it looks like it will be it. That will do it. Mistaken Esports has completed history. A reverse sweep in a best-of-7 series. And they will move on to the top 3 to take on Chrome Esports' Husky in a brilliant upper bracket final.
My goodness, you don't see much like it. Absolute destruction here. When their backs were against the wall, they stepped up. Nerves no more here from Mistaken Purpose. And you see on the scoreboard, JPEG as the MVP of game number 7. But JPEG has gotten all the glaze for this entire season from this Mistaken team, and I think we've got to shift some of that, a little bit here, Tino, because it's the team as a whole that have got them to that point. It's all 3 of them coming alive at the same time that have got them that reverse sweep. And as we have a look at the post-series stats here, who cares who the MVP is? Honestly, they all deserve it after what we've just witnessed. But a massive series from Mistaken. Of course, the MVP is JPEG, but like I said, a whole team effort to bring that one back and to make it so in front of our very eyes. Mistaken Esports moving forward to the upper finals with a matchup against Chrome. Yeah, Chrome. A matchup against Chrome as they get the win over Bro in Game 6. You couldn't write this one any better.
Yeah, no, super excited to see how that series comes up. And now we have lower bracket action and upper bracket action. Purpose get that reverse sweep win over Origin to move on to the upper final against Chrome, who was defeated 4-2. As we see lower bracket play that wasn't shown on stream. Trenge finished off with Vortic Ripple with a 3-2 series, a brilliant game 5, and Anubis showed the playoff experience against Unitox Xinjiang. And now only the top 3 of both conferences last in these prep playoffs. The top 6 is here. Who's going to win depends on who can activate their heat the most. and I'm so excited to see what happens next.
Well, we are all so excited to see what happens next, and we'll find out very, very soon. We're going to cut to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have the next matchup brought to you. It will be Gadalians Anubis versus Bro Choms. Come back after the break for some more RSC Academy playoffs action.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins.
This is trophi.ai, an AI Rocket League coach, and it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. If you've ever heard of ballchasing.com, it's a lot like that, but on steroids.
You can press P and a pro demo will come up, and this is what's so cool and so unique about Trophi, is that this is not seen anywhere else, and it's just a great way to kind of show you how to do a training pack without having to side by side watch a YouTube video.
And this is actually really cool. Training paths. So you basically, you know the skill trees from Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Sekiro, you know that sort of games where you have to, get skill points using the unlock new skills. This is sort of very similar, but instead of actually getting skill points, you're actually doing the mechs. And also a cool feature as well, guys, watch this. You can slow it down. You can actually slow-mo it like this. So if you're really struggling, what you need to do, you can actually look for yourself and just have a look at the exact movements that you're doing there. Look, it's really cool. I really like it. And
alongside helping with mechanics, it also has a feature that analyzes any of your saved replays. That way you can see what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. It even has this cool post-game analysis that you can see stats from the game you just played.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Welcome back to the B stream. As we saw last series, we saw a brilliant series with a best of 7 reverse sweep. Joining me here is Tino, and to my right we have Jasmine here today.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, today we have Godalians, Anubis going against Bro Communities, Jajams. This will be a very interesting game here, as if we go check the schedule here coming in for this B stream here, obviously you saw the upper semi-finals with Mistaken taking that 4-3 win against Nexus Origin, who will be on the A stream currently playing against Drengir Berserkers. Mistaken will have a little bit of a break, and then when we have the playoff lower semi-finals, which is yet to be determined between the two winners, we will see them back in the upper finals on the A stream. And today's just been a brilliant day to show. As we see here in the playoffs right now, after the 2 series in the upper bracket and the 2 series that were off stream, we have Purpose against Husky and coming in next in that hour. And right now we are going to be casting Anubis versus Tajams, and we have Drengir versus Origin. This will be a very interesting series here in the RSC Academy bracket, and I'm just excited for this play. As we check the team stats currently, we have the first place Bro Community going against the third place Godalians Anubis here. 24 wins and 26 wins shared. Only 123 goals to 119. Anubis does score more of the goals and concede less of the goals here, as Bro Community slightly have more saves, but the big discrepancy is those demolitions. Now, what I'm seeing here is more a destructive playstyle from Bro Community over Anubis' more mechanical playstyle, and we'll see how those two styles clash against each other in this playoff match. And if we going into this series, it's more of a momentum thing now, because obviously Godalians has came off a win against the playoff experienced Unitoxin Jang, who came here after winning 2 series in the play-in, whereas Bro Community did slip up in that game 6 against Husky and will have to fight back that momentum to stay alive in this playoff bracket. Now, going into these predictions, I think this series will be very close here, but I am more confident in that bounce back from Bro Community. I'm going to take a 3-1 series win, as today we have a best of 5 rather than a best of 7.
Yes, and I will take the 3-1 for Godalian, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, we'll have a very interesting series here as we get almost starting here, as we are about to send these players underway in game number 1. It will be a very interesting series to see how the momentum and the mentality will be like. Godalians in the right blue, Bro Community on the white side, as we start to prepare for this best of 5 series. It's going to be one of those quick ones, and you have to be ready with the momentum as quick as possible as we head into Manfield night for game number 1. Now kickoff is looming here. Who's going to be the one taking control earlier off in this game, as Ryugu and Krolex start off with the ball, and it's going to go to the Godalian side as Jazz is going to take it up in the air straight to the backboard. Pixel Glitch needs to get this clear. Masters with the 50-50, Ryugu with the shot. Great save from Krolex. Masters with the follow-up, and he'll get it, conceding through. The rings explode from the Sonic celebration as Godalian start off the game with a 1-0 lead. Brilliant play there.
Very aggressive head-on from Godalians. Love how Jess was instantly on her first ball, creating a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no, just brilliant pressure coming in from Godalians at the beginning of this game. Bro Community is going to have to recover this, but they start off with a demo on the back lines. Now, Masters to the corner, goes into the middle. Ryugu tries for the shot. Jazz is going to go for the follow-up, and it's going to disrupt a little bit of rotation because Bro Community already scoring offense. Now, Endrick with the booming pinch, but it's going to go right to Masters, up to the backboard. Pixel Glitch, you're going to slam this down. Ryugu's going to try the shot, but Krolex is there. Masters with the shot, unsuccessful, however, because Pixel Glitch is going to send it to the corner. Now, straight up from Jazz. Will he try the double tap? He won't. Booming clear from Bro Community. Is that going all the way in? Yes, it will. Ryugu and Masters can't make the connection. Tie game. Just brilliant here coming in from Bro Community off the counter attack there to see it through. And now with a tie game, the goals have been reset here. It's going to be more of a dead ball kickoff. A second 50 is really required. Krolex has an open net, but he's going to send it over. Is there a follow-up? There will be from Endrick, but that's off too. Will there be another one? No. Masters will clear it off to the left side. Krolex now will follow this up into the corner. Now, Ryugu to the middle, off to Masters, but he will get that challenged. Ryugu will send it into the middle again, but there's no one there for Godalians to continue this ball. Now, Demolition coming in from Endrick, straight to Masters. Krolex is gonna miss! And Endrick misses as well! Mistaken miscommunications in the back line leads to Jazz scoring his first goal for that Godalians offense. Now, 2-1 Gadalians. We'll see how this one-seeder pro community can recover from this. Masters now will take it to the left side, but he can't get a touch because he's demoed. Jazz now will take it to the left side after 50-50 with Krolex. Ryugu to the ceiling, off to the backboard. No one's there for the touch. Masters has the shot. It's in! 3-1 Gadalians. They have full control of this game, number 1.
And again, that high pressure coming in from Gadalians, leaving Bro just scrambling in the defense.
Yeah, frantic defense from Bro community. We can really see who's taking that early control going into the series. Endrick now to the left wall. Ryugyu's going to have a comfortable clear. And now it's just going to go straight to Pixel Glitch and Masters who are battling in this corner. Pixel Glitch will get the clear. And now Jazz will take the 50-50. And it will just be controlled by Jazz with a mid-tank. Gets the second touch, but he'll get the 50. And Krolex will get the 50, and he'll go straight to Endrick. He will try and get this follow-up touch. He gets the shot, but it goes high. Brilliant save from Masters. Krolex will now try and follow this up, but it's going straight to the corner from Masters. Pixel Glitch to the corner with a high tank. He's going to get this into the middle infield pass. Endrick can't make the shot. Yeah, accurate just yet. Now, he's going to try and follow this up, but it's a 50-50 there. Now, Krolex to the middle. Pixel Glitch, can he find the shot? No, he can't. Masters will get the clear in time. Now, he will follow this up here with straight to the backboard, but it's unsuccessful. Team bomb coming in from Bro community. Pixel Glitch has to carry the offense for now. A booming clear and a shot, but Masters will get the save. He's been a solid third man this game, number 1. Now, Krolex will follow this up, and he will clear that all the way to the corner. It's not the touch that he wanted. Endrick now, 50-50 with Pixel Glitch now with 50-50 with Ryugyu. Masters now to the backboard. Can he get this down? No, he can't. He's going to try go for net. And it's just too greedy coming in from Masters if they want to build Gadalian's pressure. Now, Endrick will try the shot, but it's unsuccessful. It's going to the back post. Masters is whiffed, and he's going to go, but it's going to go back. It's awkward. Bro community could get this goal, but Jazz is going to clear it to the other side. It's off the backboard, but it's in. You think Bro community should have scored. However, Gadalians get the counter-attack. 4-1 now to Anubis. Masters now in Pixel Glitch. It's going to be a lead for Gadalians straight off the kickoff. It's going into the middle. Ryugyu should have the shot, but it's off. Now, Pixel Glitch to the corner. He's going to take it. He take his time. He gets past Jazz with that. And now he's going to go up straight to the ceiling. He's going to try to follow this up. He flips into it, but Masters gets the clear off the corner. Now, Krolex will follow this up. He gets the touch, and it's going to go straight to the middle. Is anyone from Gadalians ready for a shot? No, they're not. Endrick now will take this control, but he's missed the first touch, and now Ryugu's beaten to this ball, and Krolex will get this early clear. Lower bracket is seeming to be Gadalians' control over Bro community. You look rattled going into this game 1. Now, Bro community need to get some momentum going, let alone just winning this game, because this isn't a best of 7 anymore. There's a lack of time, and it's just a best of 5. Only 3 games required to win a series, and a timeout is still on the cards. Now, Pixel Glitch. He starts his dribble, gets a flick. It doesn't go over anyone because no one's gone for the challenge. Jazz now is going to have control. Endrick is not going to beat into the ball. Now, it's going to go still be in the middle, and no one's there. Masters has missed to try and get the follow-up shot. Ryugyu straight to the corner, clears it off. Will he find the full field? No, he won't. Krolex is there for the save. Will anyone be there for the follow-up? No. Pixel Glitch is the first one to get to the ball. Masters now. Can he get a second touch? He can to the middle. Ryugyu with the shot. Unsuccessful, however, because Endrick's there for the 50. Jazz now is going to force it in the corner. He's going to go for the corner read. Unbelievable scenes. 5-1 Gadalians. They have full control.
And a lovely shot again from Jazz. Such a great player for this team.
Yeah, brilliant play from Jazz and a brilliant player for them as well. He came in new this season and has been showing why he deserves to be in the mantle of this Gadalians team. And now, 50-50's coming in. Masters is going to win this ball. Krolex, can he also follow up with a corner read? No, he can't, but he gets it to the backboard. Jazz is going to get it cleared. Is the counter-attacking possibilities. Demolition tried, but it's unsuccessful. Masters now has to clear this right, but Krolex is going to get the shot. Masters gets the save again. Time's running out here. Gadalians is going to win game number 1. And Bro community have a lot of work to do going into game number 2.
Yeah, love to see this game. It was straight fire from the start, and Anubis being so aggressive. It was lovely to see, but now let's see what Bro can do to turn this around in their favor.
Yeah, as we see the stats here, Masters will take the MVP with 2 goals and 4 saves, which was very important for the Anubis defense, as Bro Community are increasing their demos 5-0, as we see more of an aggressive playstyle coming in from Bro. But we need more efficiency there, because you can't be taking 5 goals with only scoring 1 and try be winning this series. You need to have a more condensed structure when you're defending, and then you can bring it on to counterattacks. As we are ready for game number 2, no timeouts has been called just as of yet, and we'll see what happens with Bro Community in this game number 2.
I'm very curious to see whether Bro will change their tactic, maybe less demolitions coming in. See what they can do to put them back on the field and put them back in position.
And we have a slight technical pause here with a shutdown server, so we'll be right back with that real quick. But as we can talk about the game that's currently happening here, we have a interesting situation where Bro Community seem to be too aggressive when it comes to their challenges, going for their 50s, and it just feels like it's just been unsuccessful so far in the beginning of the series. But hopefully in due time, we see a greater impact going into game number 2. And let's see how the recovery from Bro Community, as they did come to this playoffs as the number 1 seed. You don't want to see them go 0-2 on a Saturday as we go into Forbidden Temple Dawn. Now, can Bro Community recover from their mistakes as we head into the second game? This will be an interesting one to see. Can they cruise with control, or will they crumble and fall, as the series could get worse for Bro Community's Tijams? So everyone else is back into the lobby. I think we're ready to see game number 2. Unless there's any objections, I think we're ready. And the players are now in. We are all ready for game number 2. Bro Community with a lot of work to do as Anubis take early momentum. Now, it's going to be a more dead ball 50, but Pixel Glitch gets control. Endrick is going to go high for the shot. He's going to go low off the backboard. Masters will go get the clear to the corner. Now, Bro Community try to build up some pressure after this. Krolix now with a full tank, gets one touch, forces it into the corner, gets it into the middle. Masters now will get it cleared. Now, it's early pressure from Bro Community. They get the touch. Pixel Glitch can get the shot. 1-0. A solo play class 3 can take the lead for Bro Community. As we see here, just genius solo plays coming in from Pixel Glitch to get past the lead defender, and now Demolition coming in on the second man for this ball. You see Bro Community's changed their playstyle not only on the attack but also on the kickoffs as well with the early demo on that second man. Now Krolix now is going to take that touch because Masters did have a free shot and he's prevented that situation from happening. Ryugyu now takes the shot. It's going to be too high. Anubis need to get more accurate with their shooting. Jazz now is going to force it onto the left wall, but no one's there. Krolix is up for a redirect, but he doesn't anticipate the ceiling touch. Now, Ryuga's going to take full control of this ball. He's beat past Endrick with a fake. Masters now will take it to the corner. Good save from Krolix. Jazz had a good shot. Now, touch there from Endrick. Pinched there for control. Jazz now is going to have a shot. Will he try force it in? No, he can't. Now, Endrick has a full ball. Full tank as well, but he misses there. Pixel Glitch off to the backboard. Can there be a follow-up chance? No, Krolix gets beaten by Ryugyu. Now, in the midfield, it's end-to-end chaos happening here at the beginning of this game.
The Dalians now scrambling to see if they can get a goal, but they've kind of lost the aggressiveness out of the play style, where Bro is taking over control of the field.
Yeah, no, we see this field control coming in from Bro Community in the beginning of this game. A demolition on the second man and a pump on the last. It's a good play, but Masters has respawned in time. He will get back to recover. Krolix now is not going to go for this because Pixel Glitch has got a full tank and he's been called off for it. Now, Krolex, low boost as the last man. Masters is charging for it, but he can't get it. Ryugu's going to take it up to the backboard, but there's a demo from Endrick. Is there anyone on the follow-up? It's Jazz, but he doesn't get the touch. It's Pixel Glitch beats into it, but there is a demolition now because Pro Community cannot now continue this offense. 50-50 from Ryugu to Endrick. Jazz now with a shot. It goes off to Pixel Glitch, but it's unsuccessful. Straight up to the ceiling, has been bumped. Now, Endrick, full control of this ball, but he has minimal boost. Can he get that musty flick? He gets some power off it because Ryugu gets the read, however, but it goes up to the corner. Masters gets the miss. However, it's double commits from Gedalians to get that clear. Pixel Glitch now to the right wall. Masters gets a demo on Endrick, and it will be forcing pressure from Anubis. Ryugu misses the shot. Pixel Glitch is going to try to stay back as last man to hold on to the ball because Krolex has control. Chaos coming in from Pro Community as they all have minimal boost. Now, Pixel Glitch will try to get control. Ryugu gets one touch. Krolex will get a touch. Endrick will get control of this ball now. One-on-one with Jazz, but he doesn't go for it because he has minimal boost there, and Jazz has a full tank. Now, Endrick, can he force this into the middle? No, he can't. Masters gets one touch, and it'll get forced to the corner where Jazz will have full control. Pixel Glitch will take control of this ball. Masters is whiffed. Ryugu is not going to get there, as Krolex will get the touch faster, will get the shot. It's 2-0 Pro Community.
Nice perseverance here from Pixel Glitch, still being there in the upfield, and Krolex sweeping in for that shot.
Yeah, no, just as how Pro Community have been persevering throughout this game too. Pixel Glitch perseveres through this play as Pro Community have united as a trio to make sure that they can continue on with this lead and doubling it. A full clear now. It's a bad bounce, but Pixel Glitch is going to get shot. But there's a 50-50 with Jazz. Pixel Glitch now is going to follow this up. He's persevering once again. Krolex now is going to go up straight to the corner. It's going to the middle. Endrick can't get that touch. Ryugu now is going to try and get this full shot as Pixel Glitch now has low boost. Now, Masters gets it into the middle, but it's unsuccessful. Endrick can't get it in time. Jazz is up the ceiling. It's unsuccessful. Masters can't get the shot, but Ryugu's going to have the ball. But there's minimal time because Krolex is going to close it down. Jazz with the shot. Good placement, however, Pixel Glitch is first to it. Masters now tries getting into the middle, but there's no one there, and Krolex can get a booming clear. Now, he gets the recharge now, because now with the new update, you know how when the boost is going to respawn. Pixel Glitch now gets a touch into the air. Krolex has an attempted shot. He goes low. 3-0 Pro Community. It's beautiful placement and genius play to get that tripling of the lead.
Curious to see if Bro can continue to play like this and keep Gedalians out of continuing into the brackets.
Yeah, Krolex now is going to have a shot. Ryugu barely gets it out. Endrick can't get to it in time because he has an awkward ball. But however, he continues the pressure. Pop up high. Can there be a follow-up from anyone on Pro Community? Not just Endrick. It needs to be someone else. He's the one with the full control. He's still persevering with this play. Krolex will take it to the wall, up to the ceiling. Now, Jazz to the middle, straight to Masters, but Masters is going to retreat back because he was trying to go back anyway because he had a low tank. Endrick now is going to try and get this redirect. He doesn't get the touch. Now Pixel Glitch is going to get it straight back to the backboard. Endrick once again is going to be fighting for this ball, even with minimal boost. 17 boost now when he has full control of this ball. He pops it over one, but Masters has a free ball. Straight to Jazz to the corner. Endrick is going to pass it back. Masters can't get the touch. He's been beaten out. Krolex gets a touch. Krolex now and Pixel Glitch double commit. It's a bad ball. Jazz is going to have an open net. And if this game doesn't end in a brilliant comeback, it's going to be good momentum going into game number 3. Yeah, it's going to be Krolex now who's going to be taking that 50 and it's advantage Pro Community going into the kickoff in the lead and the kickoff. The Jazz is trying to get the shot off. Ryugu is going to get the 0-second attempt, but it's saved. Brilliant defending from Pro Community in the dying embers. However, this ball's still up in the air. Jazz now is going to try keep it up in the air with the wall bounce, but it's unsuccessful. Pro Community's Tajams has taken game number 2 and we have a tie series.
At this point, can go anyway for our predictions.
Yeah, the predictions could go anyway as we see Anubis is racking up those demos now. It was 4-4, it was equal. However, Pro Community had a more equal distribution of shots. It was just Jazz for Anubis and only one save from Gedalians. The defense needs to definitely improve if they want to go through with this 2-1 lead in the next game. However, Jazz has been having a good series so far. He's been building pressure, but he's just been a bit inefficient, but he has a lot of ball touches. But however, Bro Community have been a more team play. But my star player for that game has to be Krolex with great defending and great pressure build up here, as he's mainly not really intended to be the starting player. However, he has put himself on the mantle and is showing why he was just as good to be starting in these playoffs.
Definitely, Krolex really stepped up the game, but also cannot forget to mention Pixel Clutch really having a great assist there and having great pressure in the field.
Yeah, most definitely. Both Pixel Glitch and Endrick need to take credit as well for an entire team performance in Bro Community, and this needs to keep put as Game 3 is on the horizon. Winner of this game takes match point. This is going to be a close one. Krolex now takes control into the corner. He gets a second touch, but it's unsuccessful. Straight to Endrick with one touch. He fakes it. He gets the low 50. Can he get the final touches? Double tap is in the middle. Pixel Glitch with the goal. But you have to give credit to Endrick with a beautiful solo play to make this play possible.
Yeah, I can see we're having technical difficulties at this moment where the game is going on, but the stream currently has no vision.
We have no vision, so we're gonna go by ear. Pixel Glitch now will have a touch here. He goes up into the air, and he's just gonna take it off to the right wall here. It's gonna go up to the ceiling. Master's gonna have control. Now, Ryugi is gonna take a touch up to the right side wall. He's gonna have control, but a minimal tank. He's gonna try get it to the net, but Pixel Glitch and Krolex will have well defending. Now, Jazz will slam it down, and he will pinch it down. However, we are now going to respect the stop, as the streamer isn't actually in the game, which is quite the sight to see in the Academy tier for playoffs.
Hi.
After some technical difficulties, we'll get this back as quickly as possible. However, for both teams, it was a great start from both teams in the beginning of this game. However, when it comes to having both teams need to really be on the A game for this game number 3, because this is one of those games where it really dictates who's going to have the control, who's going to really be controlling this series, and it's a matter of whether you have you have the capabilities to ice up, to be able to be in the clutch, to be able to progress on, because now you're in the lower bracket, you don't have that extra life anymore that you used to have. But now, as we go into game number 4, after passing through some technical difficulties, we'll be checking if the Bro Community goal will stand or not. And it will stand. It will be 1-0 Bro Community, and there will be 4 minutes 30 going into this game number 3. The advantage will be Bro Community going into this game. And well, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it's just like you said, definitely excited to see what happens at this point. It could still go either way. Really good plays from both sides. I do feel like every game, one team is definitely dominating the other. So let's see which side will dominate this game.
Yeah, we have to see who will dominate this game early on. It has to be a situation of, I feel like the situation is, if you're slipping down in the series, who's going to be the first team to really fight back when it comes to being in these these types of positions, because what needs to happen is that control of a series, because having a control in a game is the most important part of any playoff series, because you need to be able to have confidence in yourself to be able to pull back in a game. Your mentality can't be slipping. And now, as we go into game number
3.
game number 3, we'll see what happens here. There is no match admin right now, so we just have to fix up some technical difficulties to get this into there we go, there's the pause. And there will be 1-0 to Bro Community with 4 minutes 30 seconds left in the game. Game number 3 will resume after technical difficulties. Let's begin and restart this madness. Pixel Glitch now will take it to the corner. Will be taken off by Jazz. Straight up into the air, straight to Krolex, and he'll take it to the wall. Now, Ryugi touch onto the right side wall. And he'll go to Endrick with a shot, but it's unsuccessful. Masters will clear it to the corner, but he takes that boost to build some pressure for Bro Community. Now, disruptive play coming in for Bro Community, but Gedalians will hold on to their lines well. Masters take it up to the wall. Krolex will get it into the middle. Endrick with the shot. It's unsuccessful. Straight up to the ceiling. Who's there for the follow-up? Nobody. Jazz will get it cleared. Endrick now has a shot. Straight to the backboard. Can Masters get the read? No one can get the read. It drops down for Krolex, who's got the shot. It's in! 2-0 with 3:35. Bro Community will take control in game number 3. It's controlling gameplay from Bro Community, going in from this restart, resetting that mental that they most needed. Pixel Endrick now is up for the double tap, but Masters gets the read. It's brilliant there from the experienced Masters coming in to drive these young two getting into these playoffs, and it was good pressure and a good shot from Masters, but he keeps it in. Now Krolex is going to take it to the wall, but they have minimal boost. Bro Community, Gedalians have all the pressure in the wall, but they need to score. Now, Ryugi's going to get the next touch. Krolex thought he was going to have that guaranteed, but pressure still builds. Jazz to the backboard. Masters tries the shot, but it's unsuccessful. Ryugi into the middle, but Pixel Glitch will have it clear. Krolex now to the wall. Jazz will have a solo play, takes the shot. Hendrick will have it clear to the corner. Now, Ryugi gets it to the wall. Masters will pop it up high, and it goes to Jazz. It'll go straight to the ceiling. Pixel Glitch now will bounce it up one time. Masters will take it up to the ceiling once again. Jazz reset. It's unsuccessful, and it goes right to Krolex. Now with Endrick up to the corner, he goes up with it. It's forced by the corner. Pixel Glitch now to the backboard. Is that a shot? No, it's not. Endrick will try and build some pressure, but he passes it right back to Krolex. Krolex now will take it to the wheel. Can he get the skim off the sidewall? No, he can't. Ryugi now is going to take full control of this ball. Now, Endrick is going to pass it back down to Pixel Glitch. That's such a risky ball. Endrick to the middle. He takes it to the right wall. Double touch there. But now Masters and Jazz are both going for it. It's a double commit. However, Ryugi's going to have a shot. It's high and wide. Krolex now to the corner, and it's going to go to the other side. A booming clear. Endrick gets the dunk on Masters. Masters got minimal boost. Bro Community are building pressure. However, Gedalians have their lines intact to stop it. Now, Jazz, can they get this corner double tap? Reset coming in from Jazz to Ryugi, and it's going to go to Masters. Shot saved by Pixel Glitch off to the corner. Endrick's going to follow this up. And it's going to go right to the middle for Krolex, who's going to get a booming clear off of it. He beats the second man to this ball. Now, Krolex is going to follow it up. Double tap now. It's going to go straight into the corner. It's a dead ball now. Hendrick's going to flick it up. Is that going in? Demolition on the last man. Pixel Glitch now is going to try the shot, but Jazz has it cleared. Counter-attacking opportunities for Gedalians, but they're not going to see it through. Masters to the wall. He's going to try and force it into the middle. Jazz now is going to be off the wall. A brilliant read there to force it onto the corner.
Rio trying to take this ball. Pixel Glitch getting it out, getting the clear, trying to make an offensive play here. Looking for a pass, maybe a backboard. Endrick is up as a unfortunately missed. Jess is gonna take this now over to the middle. Oh, where Endrick misses the ball and Rio flies past it too. And Endrick with his shot, and it's in!
Yeah, no,
another goal.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful placement from Bro Community there. Hendrik there gets it to that far post. Ryugu has to crawl back as he's taking the boost, but it's not there. And Bro Community have a great shot, and it's 3-0 now to that 1 seed of the Ignis Conference. Hendrik now to the ceiling. It slides down here. Chance is missed. Pixel Glitch is going to convert the chance. 4-0 to Bro Community. Gedalians are slipping through that early lead they had in the series, and it's 4 goals the deficit.
Yes, I'm curious to see what the Gedalians can still turn it around, as they were so aggressive and so dominating in the series previous to this.
Yeah, no, it was cruise control in the beginning, and now Hendrik is looking for that bomb, but he's unsuccessful. Pixel Glitch has called off Chronix, but is that a mistake, or is that well communication? 50-50 now, and it's going to go to Masters, but he has a low tank. Hendrik now is going to try and take control. He misses the corner push. Ryugu's going to get it, and now he can build pressure through it. Chronix is going to try and fight his way in that corner, and it's going to be Bro Community defending. Masters with not the best of pinches, but it's going to go right to Ryugu. Masters now is going to try and take control. It bounces down. Gedalians need to build some pressure quickly and try and get some momentum going into game number 4, because this game is not exactly a winning possibility for Gedalians now, with minimal time now for a comeback. And you just have to think, how are Gedalians going to try and flip the script in game number 4? Is the timeout going to be called next? I think it has to be, and we'll see what their plan is.
Curious to see what they indeed will call the timeout.
Yeah, Bro Community take game number 3. Gedalians with their tournament life on the line. And they do call the timeout. They do call the timeout to have 2 minutes of communication with each other to fix up their game plan. As we check the stats, as we see, it's just a perfect defensive play from Bro Community. And it's minimal shots coming as well from Gedalians. Only 4. With 2 demos compared to Bro Community's 5. And really with the demos, it's only 1 that comes in for the it starts in with 4-0 is the score. And 5 demos to 2. But however, Hendrik is the only person that got the demos there. He was the one causing the destruction. As we see as well, Gedalians also does have the boost consumption and field domination. So what is really happening for Gedalians to not be scoring more goals?
Yeah, and I do feel like they kind of missed that opportunity, what they had in the first game, where they just had so much pressure and created a lot of opportunities for themselves. And I feel like that's been kind of lacking the last few games.
Yeah, I think the offense of Gedalians has been lacking as of recent, compared to that game 1 where we saw a more complete game coming in from Gedalians. And now what's going to happen here is the switch needs to turn on once again for Gedalians. They did have that momentum coming in from the Unitox series and the game number 1 of this series here. And right now we check the bracket and we see what's going on. Drengir have swept. Drengir have gotten a sweep here against Nexus Origin. They have crashed out of the tournament after getting reverse swept. It's a horrible sight to see coming from Nexus Origin. They had such a good start going into the playoffs here. They were up 3-0 against Mistaken. They get reverse swept, and then they're swept out of the tournament. Obviously, in this series here, we are 2-1 here for Bro Community going into Game 4, and Gedalians has called the timeout.
Yes, curious to see going into the next game what has changed, whether they will change playstyle, whether they will be more aggressive, maybe more demo heavy. Really looking forward to see what they will bring to try and fight for that spot in the lower bracket run.
Yeah, we'll see who will join Berserkers in the lower semi-final, which will be on this stream here. The winner of this series is the one that's going to go through. The loser is eliminated from playoff contention at all. And going in to this going into this game 4, Gedalians must win. But if you're Bro community, do you want to finish this series off now, or do you want to see a game 5? Or do you want to call a timeout by game 5 for the momentum going in, if going on to win this series against Berserkers? As Utopia Coliseum calls, the timeout is now over. Yeah, the timeout is now over. We'll get the players back in. No more time for communication. The time is now to play. And we'll see what happens in this game number 4. Gedalians need to fix up their playstyle. Pro community need to finish the job off. And we'll see what happens as Endrick now has control, and Pro community will start off with the ball. Masters will slam it down to the corner. Early pressure coming in from Gedalians on that offensive end. Jazz now is going to clear it off, but he's going to get demoed by Krolix. Now Pixel Glitch is going to slam it up, and it's going to go straight to Masters, who's building up more pressure for that Gedalians team. You see some already early changes. However, they might have pressed up too high because there was a wide open net for a quick second, but they couldn't. But Pro community couldn't seize the chance.
Yeah, Krolix now up in the air, trying to look for the beat on Masters. Gets it over him. Andrik following up. Krolix still there. Andrik popping up a high, but Jas will probably take this away. Clears it. Pixel Glitch actually taking it over, and Andrik now with a solid chance. And Jas can just save this. Krolix is actually still there. Don't know what's happening right now. It's kind of scrambling on defensive for Gedalians. Maybe Jas can take it away for good and see for a counter-attack.
Yeah, and the counter-attack is looking likely as now it's going off to the Bro community side. They're the ones forcing to defend. However, they get past 2 players, but Masters can get it clear. Great rotation coming in from him. Bumps on the back line here. One-on-one between Masters and Pixel Glitch, but Masters can't control that ball in time. Good clear coming in from Pixel Glitch. The defense from Bro community staying strong, and it's mainly coming down to one person. That Bro community team is staying sturdy, as you can clearly see the improvements coming in from Gedalians going into this game number 4. They're building more pressure. They're trying to bring the fight to Bro community, as they must win this game here to continue their playoff hopes.
Andrik Knight trying to seize this opportunity to get the ball in front. Pixel Glitch up, it gets saved by Master, now gets saved by Jas, and Ryu is up for the ball. Gets a 50 with Andrik. Krolix still in front there, but no one there to follow up. Masters can take this. Pops it up, but Krolix is there. Doesn't quite get the shot off. Ryu fight via the back wall. Masters now. Andrik up and Pixel Glitch. Nice pass towards Andrik again. Just get a slight shot, but not hot enough. And Krolix will probably try and seize control now. Ryu up for Pixel Glitch, but Pixel Glitch isn't on it. And another not near shot from Bro. But they have plenty of opportunity, but just not the accuracy to actually get it in.
Yeah, most definitely. It's the lack of accuracy coming in from both sides, as we still have a 0-0 game, but it's been end-to-end with both sides building pressure. Now, Jazz is going to take control off that corner. He's going to slam it down into the middle. Infield pass. Pixel Glitch has got a bad touch. Masters will force it in. Gedalians start with the lead early in this game number 4. They're trying to force the final game. Now, Gedalians here, they have control of this game number 4. They need to force this to a game 5, otherwise they will be out. Now, Masters is going to take control of this ball. He's going to get booming clear onto the Pro community side to buy some time and boost for his teammates. Endrick now is going to take it to the side. He's going to try and get some boost, but there is no boost to be taken because it's already been taken off the midfield. Masters now is going to take one touch, but it's going to go up to the wall, and it's very indirect. Now, Ryu is going to slam that up to the ceiling. Backboard now, drop down, straight to Jazz, up to the right wall. And then it's just going to go. Missed by Endrick here. Pixel Glitch is going to get the recovery. However, it's just going to go straight to the backboard. Pixel Glitch now sliding up here. And it's going to go straight to Jazz, who's going to take control of this ball. Pixel Glitch now is going to 50 with him to get it up to the ceiling. Krolix now is going to take it up to the wall. Right side wall now once again. Masters are going to get booming clear. Can Ryugi get a good shot in? It hits the post. Is there any follows here? No. Krolix now off the counter attack. Has it up in there. Pixel Glitch now is going to try and pop it up. It gets past 2. It goes through the bottom corner. Bro Community off the counter-attack has got the goal they most desperately needed to try take the series.
And that must sting so bad for Jazz because that shot was actually so good. Unfortunately, it hit the post.
Yeah, unfortunate play from Jazz because he gets that shot, but it's off the post. He gets the follow-up shot here, but both two players have to come in for it. Endrick now is going to get the credit for the save, but it was a team play here. Pixel Glitch now could try go for the shot here, but he doesn't try turn on it. Here, Endrick now is going to leave it for Krolex with a shot. Ryugi's going to clear it off to the corner, and Endrick's going to try build pressure, but he has zero boost. He's going to try get it past Jazz, but he's unsuccessful. Now, Pixel Glitch slam it up to the wall, gets past one. Masters now is going to clear it off to the wall. It's a booming clear. Jazz is going to get it to Masters, who's going to try boom it off. Endrick now is going to be soaring up in the skies, and Ryugi's going to get the touch. Krolex still corner play being happening from Bro Community, and it's now going all the way to the other side. It's a bad touch from Endrick. Good shot from Jazz for the follow-up save. Krolex is there. Masters with the shot. It's in. 2-1 Gedalians. And the pressure that Gedalians built quickly off a Bro Community mistake has been capitalized on. Masters with the finish and converting that chance.
Now let's see if Gedalians can keep this lead for half a minute.
Yeah, can they keep this lead for half a minute? Because the lead's looking very slim. 20 seconds left, they need to hold on to a goal. Now, Pixel Glitch is going to force it into the corner. Bro Community needs to build some pressure right now because there's only 10 seconds left. Now, Masters is going to get the touch. Vital touch to waste some time and buy time to see if we're going to a game number 5. Endrick now is going to be soaring up in the skies. A 50-50 with Jazz to the other side. It resets all the pressure that Bro Community were trying to build, but they get that bounce that they most definitely needed. That's a terrible touch, and it's an own goal from Endrick, which confirms the game 5.
I think Gedalians are very relieved right now. A good call for the tactical timeout, and maybe they can turn it around in their favor and continue their lower bracket run.
Yeah, was definitely required there for Gedalians Anubis to win that game. And we now have a game 5, and a timeout has been called by Bro Community here. It's 2 minutes of a break to discuss and organize yourself for Champions Field, because it's calling out for a hero to move on in this lower bracket here to see who goes against a red hot Berserkers team who's just come off a sweep here. And this game number 5 is going to cause nerves. Your playoff life is on the line because of one game.
Yes, and I'm very curious to see whether Bro can actually keep up where they had that super momentum in Game 2 and Game 3, where they were very dominating and had a lot of great opportunities and pressure in the field. And let's see what they do with their tactical timeout and whether they come out strong on top and ready for the next stage of this playoff.
Yeah, Bro Community did use their timeout now, so they will have an extra time to organize themselves and to see how they will build structure, how they will build their play, and how they're going to control this game number 5. Because we saw in games 2 and 3 how much control they were able to build and how much pressure they were able to build to dominate the play. And now we just need to see a repeat of that going into this game number 5.
Yes, and I'm also curious to see what Gedalians does, because they had just turned it around and then you got another tactical timer. You need to keep that mindset going, you need to keep that flow going to get ready and put that pressure in again.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You need to be able to recover your play and you need to be able to show what your capabilities are in this playoff run. Because in Academy, anything can possibly happen. There could be a triple flip reset in one goal, and then there could be a disastrous own goal in the next. But it's just about building some consistency when it comes to the full series, because of the sheer spectacle of game number 5s and game number 7s. It's really about nerves. It's really about the
Yeah,
It's
we can
really
keep cool under pressure, we can perform under pressure, and I love to see this.
Yeah, perfectly stated there. It's about the control, it's about the pressure, it's how you keep your cool, and do you have the ice? We saw that with Mistaken already. They got that reverse sweep. Can either Bro Community or Gadalians Anubis show that they are among those who can have that type of ice? As we are ready now to go into this final game. Game number 5. Timeout's running out. It's time to get going. And we have a game number 5 for the ages. Lower bracket lives on the line. Winner of this goes into the lower semifinals to stay on this B stream to go against Berserkers. Let's begin game number 5. It starts off with a dead ball now as Pixel Glitch will force it onto the corner. Jazz and Pixel will 50-50 there, and Jazz will take control of the ball. Can he show some mechanics here? No. Endrick's going to get the first touch, and it's going to go straight up to the corner. Now, low boost coming in from Endrick, but Ryu Krolix will try and force it into the middle. Now, Masters will get one touch, but he doesn't have boost to follow it up. Pixel Glitch to Krolix. Jazz now is going to beat that, though. And then Endrick's now going to get control of this ball. Ryukyu is going to try and force the pressure. Masters gets the dunk, and he's trying to build more pressure for Gadalians. Jazz with the shot. Unsuccessful, however. It's not enough conversion. It's not a high enough conversion rate from neither side throughout this whole series. And it's just going to be a cagey game, number 7. Now, Jazz is going to try get some control here, but Krolix is going to force it into the corner. Can he get this corner read? No, he can't. He can't even get the touch. Now, a whiff coming in from Masters. Krolix gets the fake. He's going to have an open net. What a fake coming in from game 7. If you're talking about nerves, if you're talking about cool, that is one way to showcase that.
Eyes with these nerves, with everything on the line, and then going for a fake there. That shows some real cool, and keeping your head cool in these situations, exactly what you need to do. As we continue with Bro having the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to keep that cool 100%. And Krolix has showed that even with the situation that he was in at the beginning, he isn't meant to be the one who's actually playing, but he still shows how much of an impactful player he is for this Pro Community team. As Hendrik doubles up this game 5 lead, we show that Pro Community has immediately got this timeout buff, and they've doubled the lead in such quick time.
Gadalians will really need to start doing something now to change the odds in their favor. Andrik is already up. That's over Ryu, but Masters gets the clear on that. Danger is not over yet. However, Jazz takes it away to the midfield where Pixel Glitch is waiting. Masters up for this, but Andrik is there. Masters still trying to get the ball over to the Bros field. Not quite successful in that, as they have such high pressure, Bro Community.
Oh yeah, they have high pressure Bro Community. It's compounding pressure really, as they really want to get this game 5 win and force Gadalians out of the tournament and keep their playoff hopes alive. Pixel Glitch now will force it into the corner, and they will go straight to Krolix. Krolix will try and get this clear. However, he's just going to control it for a little bit, and it's going to go straight to Endrick. Endrick now is going to get that to the corner. He's going to try and force it middle, but it's unsuccessful. Pixel Glitch now will get one touch, and it's going to get pinched off by Ryugyu. Endrick is going to try and get some 50-50s going. However, Krolix is going to have full control. Redirects coming in from Bro Community, but Endrick can't get the full shot. Masters now has a full ball, full tank, full boost. However, Bro Community's defense strapped that ball away from Masters. Now, straight up into the air, to Masters, to the corner. Jazz is trying to get the dunk. Krolix is trying to get this open net shot, but he's unsuccessful in his angle. Ryugyu now is going to get control, and it's going to go straight to Masters, and it's going to go up into the corner. Now, Endrick now is going to fight Jazz for this ball. Now, Jazz is going to try and create some stuff, but it's always being played off to the corner. It's going to go off to the middle for Masters to have a shot. It's in! Now, the lead is halved. And it's going to be a very nerve-wracking one as game 5 continues, and Gadalians now have their first strike.
Only 2 minutes left. There's all the chances for Gadalians still there. And let's see what they do with this. Can they keep the momentum going? See if they can even the score out.
Yeah, no, let's see if Bro Community can hold on or if Gedalians can cut this lead off entirely. It's only 2-1 now here. Jazz gets the dunk here. Can pressure be built up here? No, Krolix gets a redirect there. Good defending from Bro Community. However, there was a double commit. Demolition coming in from Krolix to Masters. Now, destruction plays are happening here, but there's minimal boost coming in from Bro Community. Now, Jazz is going to try to take control here. Andrew's going to go all the way up to the top of the field to try to take some boost. Masters now is going to take it up the ceiling, and he's going to get the second touch after Krolix's touch there. Now, Endrick versus Jazz here on a 50-50, and now it's going to be Ryugu and Pixel in a 50-50. Krolix is going to take it to the wall. It's going to be a good bounce for Jazz. Jazz is going to hit it off the ceiling at first. Endrick's going to get the clear. Now, Endrick is going to take it to the corner. It's going to bounce down, and Masters is going to get it cleared. It's a great clear there to keep strong. Backboard read there. No one's going to get the read. Masters now is going to have a one-on-one with Pixel Wish, but he doesn't have boost. He gets the B, however. It's an open net. Ryugi gets the demolition, but no one's there for the shot. Masters now is going to get the shot, but all of Bro Community is there to stop it. Now, Ryugi is going to try build back pressure, but you just think that was the moment to take this series and tie up the game. Endrick is going to take it into the middle, force his way through, but Masters is going to clear it off just in time. Krolix now is going to try to build some pressure. Jazz gets one touch, but it's going to get touched again by Krolix. It's a booming clear off to the other side. Masters is now going to take it to that corner, and Endrick is going to force it there. Ryugi is going to get one touch. He's going to go straight up. Jazz now is going to get a corner bounce. Masters is going to try and go for the shot. Final 10 seconds. Gedalian needs this possibility, but Bro Community's defense is strong. They're going to let the ball drop the ground. Bro Community's chums are going to stay alive, and they will take game number 5 and the series and eliminate Gedalians Anubis out of the tournament.
What a game to watch was that, and it was lovely to see every single play out of this game.
Yeah, okay, well, as we see the team stats here, equal in goals and very equal in just all the stats here, but we see the demolitions and saves coming in from Bro Community, and it was more of a team play. I'm excited to see who the MVP is from this game, and we see now, it's now going to be Endrick. 15 demos, a destructive series coming in from Endrick. 3 goals, 2 assists on 7 saves and 12 shots, 25% shooting percentages. And just what a brilliant series that was to watch from both teams. But Bro Community take the series.
Yes, and you expected this. Not quite in the score, but you did put Chums on top.
Yeah, I did predict the Chums to win this series. However, I didn't think it to be this close. I had them winning in 4, but they did take the series in 5. And let's see what that does for the playoff bracket as we check now, as we will have the lowest semi-final on this B stream with Bro Community's Tajams and Team Berserker's Drengir. However, in that upper bracket, the finals already started. We have Husky already 1-0 up against Mistaken Purpose. It's the number 1 seed from the Glacies tier going up against the number 2 seed from the Glacies tier. I'm excited to see what happens in that series, and this will be a very interesting finish to this Academy tier. I think that will do it for this game here. I've been Tino, and joined by me is Jasmine here, and we have very much enjoyed this series. Any last words?
No, thank you for pulling me through this, as this was nerve-wracking, and I'll probably never do it again.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. We'll be right back, and next series will be Bro Community's Tajams and Team Berserker's Drengir.
This isn't just merch. It's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. We're the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
This is trophi.ai, an AI Rocket League coach, and it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. If you've ever heard of ballchasing.com, it's a lot like that, but on steroids.
You can press P and a pro demo will come up, and this is what's so cool and so unique about Trophy, is that this is not seen anywhere else, and it's just a great way to kind of show you how to do a training pack without having to side by side watch a YouTube video.
And this is actually really cool. Training paths. So you basically, you know the skill trees from Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man, Sekiro, you know that sort of games where you have to, you get skill points, use them, you unlock new skills. This is sort of very similar, but instead of actually getting skill points, you're actually doing the mechs. And also a cool feature as well, guys, watch this. You can slow it down. You can actually slow-mo it like this. So if you're really struggling, what you need to do, you can actually look for yourself and just have a look at the exact movements that you're doing there. Look, it's really cool. I really like it. And
alongside helping with mechanics, it also has a feature that analyzes any of your saved replays. That way you can see what you're doing well and what you need to improve on. It even has this cool post-game analysis that you can see stats from the game you just played.
This isn't just merch. It's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Everyone to the rsc-eu stream. I am Tino, and joining me today is former prospect winner Veiled.
Yep, indeed. But that was back when prospect was basically what academy is now. So maybe they'll give me some knowledge on who's gonna win. But I don't know. My predictions have already been cooked a little bit. The team I had winning went down 0-2. So my only hope is Drengir going on to win the whole thing and kind of not really saving my predictions, but putting every other team in where they're supposed to be. But
well, as we currently check the playoff bracket here, we have 1-1 currently between Mistaken Purpose and Husky, and the game we will be looking at is Bro Community's Tajams going against Berserker's Drengir, as Bro Community has just came off the 3-2 win that we just saw on that stream against Masters' Anubis and Gadalians. However, Drengir has came off a sweep against Nexus Origin.
Yeah, they have just swept Nexus, but then they fell immediately after, so they will find their place down in the lower bracket anyways. Wait, what we say?
As we see here, the team stats here, Bro Community and Berserkers, first and second, 26 wins for Bro, 25 for Drengir. Bro Community scoring more goals and conceding less, but it's very equal. But once again, just like last series, it's the discrepancy in demos that I'm really keeping at. There is a more destructive playstyle coming in from Bro rather than Berserkers. Do you think, Veiled, that will have a difference between who wins and loses this series?
It might come into question. I think Berserkers always have the same style of play every single season. It might not be just Berserkers, but just any team that is coached by Petroid. They like to play very defensively and not win by a lot of goals. If you are familiar with RCS, you'll see the same pattern in RG, they are currently called. It's very effective if you can make it work, but those demos could definitely turn out to be a problem for them. So I am not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but do you have a prediction for what you think it's going to be looking like?
Yeah, I think this series will be very close here, but overall, I'm thinking the momentum that Bro Community got in that Game 5 will carry them on, and I have the 1 seed taking this 3 games to 2.
Yep, and I said it already. I need Drengir to go on a run to save my predictions a little bit, and I'm gonna make that show in this prediction. I'm gonna say Drengir takes it, game number 4. They're gonna be winning 3-1. The prediction got put on the cam a little early, so might have spoiled it, but 3-1 to Drengir, and we have everyone on the pitch now. So while our production just gets the hype chamber going, tell me, how has it been like being on the stream for like almost 3 hours now?
Yeah, no, it's been exciting, and yet we go again. It is Pro Community taking on Team Berserkers in a best of 5 series. The winner of this will go on to that lower bracket finals and will go against the loser of Mistaken and Nexus. As we get the players going, we have Manfield Knight at the beginning, and we get game number 1 going.
Every player on the pitch now. We had to wait for one momentarily, but they're all ready. Kickoff is counting down. Kickoff is a go. Let's see who gets the first possession of the game. It's gonna be Jim Jams chasing this one. Gonna make it very uncomfortable for Krolex now, hunting that ball on the backboard. Ends up whiffing it a little bit. Doesn't matter too much because Jameso is behind him. Belinda now last man back, just needs to take this under control. Takes it away from his teammate Jim Jams, now having to make up for it. Not the best first touch, but he is able to chase it into the corner. A little bit of a dunk, but that means Endrick now has possession. Can he get it over Janssen? Yes, he can. Jim Gems, very awkward in the corner. Gets beaten out by Krolex. Chaos Region onto the backboard. Shouldn't be reading this. Janssen gets it out of harm's way. And a lot of action early on, but nothing to show for it.
Yeah, no hefty action there as we see the first demo coming in from Bro Community on their own side. They're really taking their own territory and claiming it. Krolex has missed here, but Chaos Regen is going to follow it up. Now, as we see a substitution, Pixel Glitch has came off for Chaos Control, and now we see here as Blind and Chaos take the 50-50. Endrick now is going to try to follow this up here. Yanso is going to clear it out for Chaos. Jim Jabs now is going to take control here. A very notorious name in the Academy tier. Now he passes it into the middle for Blind with the shot. Great save from Endrick, and it pinches to the other side. Counter-attacking opportunities for the Bro Community there. It goes into the middle. Yanso can barely get the touch. It's a great save. The follow-up goes through. Krolex starts off the scoring for Bro Community and gets the first goal on the board in this series.
Yeah, it's a good 50. Janssen doing everything he can to try and keep that one out, but it ends up falling straight to Krolex, who only has to tap it in. I was gonna say how it might affect Bro Community playing with Chaos Region instead of Pixel Glitch, who of course were there when they just took out Godalians in the lower bracket in a 3-1 fashion. That is the kind of things that makes a team in these runs, and subbing one player out might just lead to bad things as Jim Jams evens things out, getting a goal back for his side here.
Yeah, no catches out Bro Community on their rotation, going too far forward. A booming clear with perfect placement, and there's no chance that Bro Community can get back in time. Krolex tried his best, but he couldn't get there. Now, he will try to take control and recover for his mistakes, which he passes it back and tries getting into the middle, but Yanso just has control. Messes up the flick there. Jim Jams thought he had control, but Chaos Regen gets the dunk, and Chaos Regen is still building pressure here. He's being persistent with it, but now Jim Jams takes it high, gets past the second man. He's got a one-on-one with Krolex, takes control here. He's got Krolex as a full tank to try and get this through. Jim Jams tries taking it slow, but he's unsuccessful here. Janssen gets bumped with a full control of the ball. Now, Blind to the corner, but messes up his first touch. Now Endrick can get a booming clear to the other side. Yanso can now take it to that side wall. He'll get passed back from Krolix straight to Chaos, but he'll just clear it off to Jim Jams, who will first take control here. Will he try to go for the pinch here? He tries to go with Blin here, but Endrick can hold firm and defend this. And now Bro Community now are under attack here by the Berserkers. Hot momentum here, but now Jim Jams can control this ball here. Krolix here. Now, full control of this ball. He's going to go for the full air dribble. Yanso is going to get a touch here. Chaos Regen can get it to the backboard. Will Krolix be there for the follow-up shot? No, but Endrick's there. He will try to follow this up, but Jim Jams can get the ball first. It's a very end-to-end game here, and it's still 1-1. Who's going to score this next goal to dictate the play in game 1?
Yeah, that is the question we are all sitting with in our heads right now, as Endrick tries to take it on the backboard. Gets challenged by Belinda. Now Krolix in the corner. Tries to get it on the backboard, gets it past one, but it's cleared away by Jim Jam. Some hard defending going on from Drengier right now, and they're doing well on it. Jim Jams now has a bit of a chance, takes that boost away, but no one's there to help him. Jensen tracking back, taking this one on the corner. Krolix with an early challenge, only manages to 50 it to Belinda. Not the best touch here though. Endrick gonna take it up on his backboard. Doesn't have a lot of control though, gets the flip reset, but it's just straight down to Jensen. Now off the sidewall, gets a good first touch here, fakes out, but Krolix doesn't get fake like that. Jim Jams gets beaten out by Krolix. Now Krolix on the side wall, can't really get to it, so Endrick has to step in, but this is a good counter opportunity for Drengier. Not able to make much of it as of right now. Jim Jams with a nice pinch there, was bouncing out nicely, but it's a great save from Endrick. Now Krolix in the corner, gets a good 50. Belinda with a clear. Chaos Regen flipping back. He's gonna stack up with Endrick in that corner. Endrick with a nice clear to Krolix. Can he make the connection? No, he can't. Now Jim Jams getting it through. He's gonna get the 50 as well, but it's not good enough. Chaos Regen, a shot on target. Jensen off the backboard, but he cannot get there in time. And Chaos Regen, he breaks the stalemate. It is now Bro Community leading this game, number 1, 2-1.
Yes, the substitute there. Brilliant placement from Chaos Regen. Yanso can't get there in time. And Bro Community take the lead going into game number 1 with 30 seconds left. That's an open net. However, Krolix can't get it through. Jim Jams now will try to take it to the wall. Double shots there, but Krolix will boom it to the other side. Is that detrimental for? But Bro Community, no, because Krolix is there and back in time. Now, Berserker's offense is still building, but Chaos Regen can get the save off of Jim Jams' shot. Jim Jams now has a shot, but Endrick's there again. Now, brilliant defending from Bro Community and a demolition to Jim Jams. Endrick going to try to force it into the middle. However, final 10 seconds now. Bro Community need to hold on for these last 10 seconds, otherwise Berserkers can crawl back. Jim Jams now is going to have to keep this up in the air. He misses, and Bro Community's to Jams win game number 1 late and take the opening lead in the series.
Yep, a very, very close game here though. All the small things went differently. It could have looked completely different, but it is Chomps getting the first game here. Second game about to be on the way. Just 45 more seconds for Drengier to talk things out, figure out how they need to play the series differently. Because right now, Bro Community is looking very, very hot. Endrick playing really, really good compared to what I saw last series. He was a bit slow at first. I think he definitely stepped up in the series, but this series, he started out with a bang. And if he keeps going like that for the whole series, Drengier might have a bit of a problem. They definitely have things to sort out though.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think that momentum that Bro Community had from that game 5 against Godalians really took them far going into this series. Berserkers have had a little break, so they've slowed out a little bit. But the fact that the substitute Chaos has came into this series and has shown why he was just as good to be on this team is so influential for this entire team to show it's not exactly a one-team game, and it's entirely unified as we go to Forbidden Temple. A minute of discussion has already passed. Bro Community take the lead in the series, and let's see what happens in this game number 2.
Yep, about to be underway. Game 2 ticking down. It's gonna be Jim Jams and Krolix on the kickoff. Krolix beating, but Belinda able to get there first. This leads to a shot from Chaos Regen though, but saved away by Jenso. Endrick is up. A bit of a poor first touch. Should give possession to Drengier, but they have absolutely fumbled playing that ball. They have another chance here though. Belinda taking it very slowly. It's a decent 50, but it goes straight towards his own side, so it makes it very awkward for Jim Jams. Krolix with a touch up here. Chaos Regen up early. Not the best shot. Krolix gets a bit of a touch as well, but it's very scrappy from Bro Community right now.
Yeah, scrappy work from Bro Community as we speak. However, Berserkers aren't doing anything either. It's really more Bro Community side, but it's been lackluster with the offense. Now, off to the backboard, Yanso's missed. Jim Jams can try to take control, which he doesn't. Chaos Region tries building some pressure, but Blind can get the save. Now, Krolix can now hit that off the corner. Endrick is going to try to get the read, but the shot is off. Jim Jams, Yanso's going to miss it. Endrick's going to take this ball. Full control, he gets a flick over, but now Jim Jams can slow it back, take the 100 boost, and take control of the play. Yanso now is going to take it to the corner. Chaos Region's going to try, have a look at it. Blind is going to get it over one, and it's just going to go to Jim Jams once again. But Chaos Region can't get the touch. He needs to go back here instead of building pressure. Endrick now, straight with a 50-50 to the backboard. Krolix is up for it, but misses. Now, Blind and Endrick racing for this ball. Endrick now gets the air dribble. He takes the mid boost as well. He still has this ball. However, Jim Jams got a booming clear here. Chaos Region's bumps Yanso, so they can't get the redirect either. Now, 50-50 coming in from Blind and Endrick, but Endrick's been eviscerated from the field. Pinch there from Yanso, it's off target, but however, Jim Jams is going to follow up this ball and try and build some pressure for Berserkers. Still, Chaos Region is going to try to kick this out because it's all Berserkers' possession. However, there's not been as many shots to show for it. Now, it's going to go try getting into the middle. Jim Jams is going to clear it off to the corner once again. The safe spot, really. Shot coming in from Chaos Region, but it's really lackluster, and there's not really that much threat that it brings. Now, Krolix is going to try and bring it up. He's going to try and get the pass middle. He pops it high. Endrick's going to go for it. Can he get that second touch? Yes, he can! And it opens up the score for Bro Community once again. Brilliant pass from Krolix. And a better double tap from Endrick to start off the lead for Bro Community.
Yep, it's a good finish, it's a good pass, and they take the lead once again. Once again, Drengier now find themselves on the back foot, the third time in this series that they happen to be finding themselves. So, Jim Jams gonna try and push it forward here, but he ends up just passing it for Chaos Region. That was almost trouble. Had that been an inch to the left, that would have been the second goal of this game, but it won't be, and that might just be their saving grace. Endrick now carrying it forward for Bro Community. Yanso gonna be tracking back, taking his time here, takes it to the corner. Well done from him. Jim Jams now to Yanso, gonna try and find Jim Jams in the midfield, I believe. No, it's gonna be Belinda instead, off the backboard. Is there anyone there? No, only manages to find Endrick, but pressure definitely been turned up from Drengier. However, these tiny mistakes that you see, just slightly miscalculating their hit on the ball, that is what is detrimental to them right now. They can't seem to find the connection that they would like. They need a good shot on target. That is all that is separating them right now. Bro Community, I wouldn't say they have been superior in the entire game, but they are taking their shots on target, and that is what is getting them the goals currently.
Yeah, no, everything you said there was perfect. It's just Bro Community's pressure and how they're being efficient with their chances. And it's going to be a drop-down shot from Krolix, and the follow-up from Chaos Region is going to go straight in. They double up the lead for Bro Community. The substitute's going to get his mark on game number 2, just like game number 1, to double up the lead for Bro. And what looks for Berserkers is trouble in this series, because this isn't a best of 7. They're going to have to fight to get back into this game and into this series.
Yep, everything on the line already. You see teams, when they go into these series here, the first game can be chalked up to a warm-up game. The second game, if you lose the first one, you kind of need to start stepping it up, especially if it's a best of 5, because if you lose 2 games in a row, you're basically already out. Reverse swept required to stay in the tournament at that point. Endrick, gotta keep it on in here, but yeah, you really need to step it up if you're Drengier. If not win it, this game, you definitely need to start scoring goals, because you can't let this get away from you. You cannot let them just run away from you with it. Something needs to change. I like the way that they're trying to play as a team, but it's not working. Something needs to change. Someone needs to take some individual accountability and bring some brilliance. I think that player needs to be Jim Jams. I've seen what he can do firsthand in multiple of seasons. He can definitely be the difference maker for Drengier in this series, and I would like to see him do so.
Yeah, no, someone needs to come up and be the star for Drengier currently. Jim Jam seems to be the man that looks to be for it, knowing his past experience. However, if they want to get back into this game, they need somewhere where they can claw a goal to half this lead. However, the final 10 seconds are ticking down, and it just doesn't look like it's going to be a possibility. Krolix finishes off that work, and it's a team hat-trick for Bro Community and a triple for Bro Community, as they will take game number 2 as well and start to dominate the series. You really think a timeout is necessary now? Because yes, we have seen reverse sweep on this stream, but the chances of it isn't likely, and momentum needs to shift immediately for that to be possible.
Yep, and as you said, team hat trick. But if you look at the man in the middle, well, it's not in the middle of your screen, it's in the middle of my screen. It's Krolix. 1 goal, 2 assists. He was involved in every single play leading up to attack from Bro Community. Both those goals he didn't score, well, he put a shot on target, making the defense very awkward just moments before that goal was scored. I will definitely say this game specifically, Krolix popped off single-handedly, put it on a plate for his teammates, and in the end, put the last one in just to edge it forward. Chums, Bro Community looking very strong going into this game number 3, and they have put themselves in a position where they could end it all in this next game.
Yeah, most definitely, but we do have a timeout being called from Berserkers. The conversations are starting now. 2 minutes of break to try build something, to try get an advantage, whether it's through your mental, what pressure's being built, or however you do it. But it's just now time to talk and have conversations about this, as that timeout has been used. Their tournament life is now on the line. Lower bracket hopes are there to be had, but the winner of this series is going to go into the top 3 with all the momentum in the world, as they will go against the loser of the other series, which I believe currently is back and forth, but we don't know the score yet. And if we can get a recap on that, if we check the playoff bracket currently, but other than that, it's just been end to end from those 2 teams at the top. And as we see, 2-2 going into game number 5, and in that lower semi, it's a best of 5, but it is currently 2-0 to Bro Communities to Joms. And the winner of that will go against the loser of that, which could be either team, as both of them are on fire as we speak.
Yeah, you've been speaking about Bro Community being on fire, but this series is not over yet. I want to get your thoughts, because I know what I would be doing. But if you were to put yourself in Drengir's position right now, you know, you're 2 games down, you have to win 3 games in a row to get back in it, what would you be saying?
Well, one thing that needs to be certain is that the comeback is most definitely possible. It's not a thing of impossibility. However, what needs to change with Berserkers is their conversion rate. Because what's going on is they're building so much pressure. However, they just can't seem to finish it. Whether it needs somebody to start challenging the ball a bit more, shooting a bit more, or taking the ball and just taking the series by the grips of their hands. But the time is now over. We go into game number 3. DF8 Stadium could be the end of our series, and we go into game number 3. Berserkers' tournament life is on the line. Bro Community are on fire. Who's going to win this game number 3? It's all down to the players as we kick off at DFH.
Drengir, will they just be another step in Bro Community's charge towards that grand final? Or will they turn the tables around and make this a moment that will be remembered for seasons to come in the Academy tier? If they are to reverse sweep this series, everyone will be remembering that. Only if, though, they then end up going on a run. But let's start with this one game. This is where it has to start if they want to make it count. They have a chance here. Jim Jams is found by Yanso, and for the first time in this series, they have found the lead. Drengir strikes back. All it took was 1 timeout, and Jim Jams scores the first one in this game 3.
Yeah, I know. Jim Jam starts off this game number 3 hot after the double commit from Bro Community. Great offense coming in from Berserkers as they start off hot. after that timeout break. They really needed those 2 minutes. As Blind is going to go for the double tap, but it's unsuccessful. Now, Chaos is going to try to go for the 50, but Yanso's going to beat him to it, and they just roll through the net. Krolix is going to slam it up high. Endrick now clearing it off to the backboard. Jim Jams can't get the read. Endrick with the shot, and it's a tie game. All the work Berserkers did has come down to rubble as Endrick destroys it all. He's been an absolute monster in this series.
Yep, just as Drankir was starting to look like they might have a chance to claw their way back, a mistake like that is gonna shatter your confidence. It is not only gonna shatter your confidence, but any danger that was shown to your opponents is immediately gone. But hold on a minute, from 0 to hero, Jim Jams, from throwing away the lead that he secured for his team, he goes back and scores this double tap to put them back in that lead. For the second time in the series, might I add. This game, he has clearly come alive. I said it the last game, he needed to be the one to make the difference. And he's come alive. This one bouncing on the goal line, a whiff from Chaos Region, and it's cleared away by Jim Jams. Disaster for Bro. This could be the start to the finish. Because if you play like that, you might as well just stay out of playoffs.
Yeah, no, brilliant angle here from Jim Jams and a disastrous mistake from Chaos Regen. You need to be able to convert those chances, and that would have cancelled all momentum Berserkers would have had. But right now, it is still 2-1 to Drengir, and they start to build something up. Can Bro Community do something? Well, they get the demolition. Endrick gets the reset, but Blind is going to get that cleared. Straight over to Yanso, who's going to try to get for the shot. But Krolix has that taken, dealt with. Jim Jams now he's gonna try slam it down, but it goes over to Krolix. Krolix now. Endrick's gonna take the shot. It's gonna go left. Endrick again calls off the lead. A great attempt from Krolix to try and build some pressure, and a brilliant shot from Endrick. He's been all over the place this series.
Yep, and you definitely see the pressure of this series starting to show now. That missed open net might have been a bit rough on the player, but you genuinely need to be scoring those chances. That is what makes the difference in these series when it's this close. They get a bit of a freebie as they get a goal right after that. Very hard earned, but you definitely can't be throwing away chances like that. What if Drengir comes back and wins the series off of that? It is gonna be so rough on you. But the series goes on. Just chalk it up. It's tied up again now. It is gonna be Chomps taking it out of their half now. A bit of a miss from Belinde. Chaos Region gonna look for that 50. Finds the demo instead. Now Krolix just needs to put it in the middle, but there's just nothing coming from him. He fakes out 2 players. Jim Jams, however, is gonna take a little control, but is gonna throw it away just as quickly. Gets that boost taken away from him. This could be detrimental. Yanso only gets a semi-good touch, and that means Chaos Region has the air all for himself. A challenge was coming in, but way too late. It is just shooting practice for this man right here.
Yeah, no, he missed that first chance, but he's most definitely not conceding that chance there. A beautiful shot there with 117 kilometers per hour with absolute conviction that was going in. And now here comes Drengir. Yanso with the shot, but it's going to come sliding high. They need this goal quickly, otherwise they're going to get swept out. Krolix now with the redirect straight to Jim Jams. He's going to take this ball under control. Air dribble straight to the corner. Krolix is going to get one touch, but it's going to go straight to the middle. Yanso's going to try the shot, but it's going to go down to the ceiling. Blind with the shot. It's in. 3-3. Drengir have built some pressure. They capitalize off the double commit from Bro Community and some mess ups on the back lines. And it's a tie game once again.
It is all tied up. Everything to play for here. Drengir, their life on the line. Finally starting to come alive a little bit. They looked shaky in the first 2 games, but this game, completely different story. Yes, there have been a couple of mistakes, but it's been more glory than mistakes from them. They have earned every single goal that they scored, while Chomps, they have done the same, but I would say the pressure has definitely been suiting for Drengir, as we see a demo from Jim Jams. Janso overcommitting a little bit, making Jim Jams very awkward. Belinde has to be the hero and does get the clear. A good 50 as well to boot. Now this one just needs to get put in front, but no one's there. They didn't trust that the pass was coming. They will have another chance here as Janso snipes that top left corner and puts them back in the lead in this game. After facing a little bit of a struggle back from Bro, they're finally on top again.
Yeah, no, it's perfect placement from Janso in that situation. Berserkers are getting that lead that they most definitely need in this game number 3. And now when you look at Bro Community Stations, how are they going to get back in this game? They've had Endrick have this masterclass yet, but their defense has been lacking, which is a lot different from these past couple games, which they don't really concede. Is that mainly because of Berserker's offense or Bro Community's defense? I think it's the latter, as Janso capitalizes on the mistake coming in from Bro. It's a beautiful shot and great placement as they double the lead.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think it is definitely Drengier that has earned their way to score this many goals. It's not really Chumps making mistakes in defense. They have made mistakes in offense, don't get me wrong, but in defense, they've actually played pretty consistently the way that they want to play. But it is just that when they make mistakes, a lot of teams, even Drengier in the first 2 games, didn't strike on the opportunity to get a free goal. But this time around, Drengier is showing that they do spot those chances and they are willing to take the shot in this game 3, but it might prove to be a bit too late to start doing that. It is still a 2-game advantage for Chumps right now. If they lose this one, it falls down to 1, but it's still significant. Drengier needing to play consistent, but what is that from Endrick? Putting it on a platter for Janso, but he chooses to be the team player. He totally didn't miss that open net. He just wanted his teammate Jim Jams to get the hat trick.
Yeah, no, it's not the best of moves from Endrick there. Passing it right back, completely nullifying any chances of a comeback here. And Bro Community will 100% lose this game number 3. Berserkers Drengier have used that timeout buff so effectively and will take game 3 and will start the charge for the reverse sweep.
Yep, we talked about it, but let's just go back a minute here. Because in this game, you saw that missed open net from Chaos Region. It didn't make the difference. I was going to make a point where if the game ended up being a 1-goal game or something like that, that could have been the beginning. But it definitely could have been a factor to how they ended up conceding this many goals this late in the game. Because what it will do to your confidence, missing a chance like that, it could be detrimental to not only this game, but to the entire run. They've done so well in this lower bracket so far. Of course, they dropped down from the upper bracket in the beginning, but they have done well in the lower bracket. But to go out in this fashion, it wouldn't be fair to them, to what they've done, and it could all go back to that missed chance.
Yeah, but you must give credit though to the performances of Janso and Jim Jams. Pure masterclasses from the 2 of them there as we go into game number 4. And we do have some technical difficulties coming in from Jim Jams, so we do need to wait before going into the series. Now, as we go into game number 4, Berserkers Drengier will most definitely have the momentum. However, how will they be able to capitalize on this, and can they push forward throughout this series as we see this lower semi-final try to push forward? As we have a call for a technical timeout, as Jim Jams' game is not looking the best, and we'll see what happens there with the side of Drengier. So while we talk about this, I can give you reports that currently it is 3-2 to Mistaken Purpose. They are in a game 6 currently in a 0-0 game here. And the 5-minute technical timeout has to be called there as Jim Jams' game isn't moving the best. So we'll see what happens there. So we have this series here, Bro Community on match points 2-1. The other series, the upper final, winner of that goes to the grand final with a second life. And the loser of this goes against the winner of this series, which currently speaking right now is very close. Obviously, Bro Community has the series lead, but Berserkers took that game 3. And as we see here for our predictions as well, I have this series going to game number 5. However, you have this series ending now. However, it was on the other side. Do you still think it will end in game number 4?
It's a good question. It all comes down to this next game here. I think it is going to be a bit of a pain factor to to Drengir, that Jim just had a games crash. Because they were just on fire that last game. You saw the link-up play between him and Yanso. They were absolutely tearing up that defense. And I think that 5-minute timeout will end up benefiting Bro Community more, as they are able to reflect on what went wrong that game. And maybe just get it out of their system. A lot of teams don't get that chance. A lot of teams just get thrown straight into the next game. They might want to hold on to their timeout in the first place until you get to that end. But they've definitely gotten the advantage from this tech timeout. And I'm very curious to see how it goes. I can't predict if it will go to game 4 or 5 right now. It all comes down to who benefits from this tech.
Yeah, no, most definitely a cagey encounter happening right now. So if the situation of Jim Jams can be resolved very quickly, we'll see what happens there. But we hope most definitely that Jim Jams can come back, which he has during the game once again. The tech timeout looks like it will be over here, as we might be ready for game number 4. We go into Utopia Coliseum here, and the players now must get ready here for game number 5. Game number 4. Winner of this could decide whether we go to game number 5 once again, or if Bro Community can see off the series. Let's begin.
Yep, Jim Gems getting the better end off of that kickoff. Belinda gonna be charging it down. Chaos Region not able to read the bounce, does get a second chance. Gets it over Jim Gems. Now Janso to the side here. Janso gonna stay on it. Gonna get it over 2 players. Endrick tracking back. Lobs it up, but it's gonna be Jim Gems pre-jumping it. Not quite able to get there. A good 50 by Janso. A bit of a team bomb coming out from Chaos Region as well. As you see, a little bit a lack of communication between the Bro Community players. That could be a factor, but for now, Drengir in defense. Janso keeping it in the corner there. This safe space, as everyone knows. Belinda gonna clear it forward. Jim Jams gonna just call his bluff and absolutely send that ball flying forwards. Krolek's gonna get a bit of a whiff himself. Janso gonna turn up the heat, but Endrick takes it away and then ends up missing. Jim Jams now has a little bit of space, but Endrick pounces on it and takes it forward. Janso has a chance here. Can he make contact? He does. Is it just open? It is in fact open. And it's Drengir once again taking the lead. And historically in this series, the team that has scored first has won. But will this be the game where that changes?
Yeah, no, we'll most definitely see throughout the series, but there was a backflip there on the last man for Krollex there. That's how there was a wide open there. It's just a mistake on the last man. Krollex now will try to lead this ball through the kickoff. However, there's a big booming clear from Janso. Now, battles in the corner here. Berserkers will still have the ball. It's hit the ceiling and it's going to fall down into the middle. Blaine will have the shot there. Top corner. 2-0 Berserkers. Bro Community take the early deficit here. And Berserkers are trying to force this game number 5.
I think Belinda might have been reading the chat as this series has gone on, because you guys have not been kind to him. That's all I'm gonna say, but he's been absolutely burying those shots in the top corner when he's been presented with the chance to do so. And oh my, he has been a part of Drengir coming back in this series, I will say. And what a beautiful strike that was. He's gonna get a good 50 here as well. Endrick gonna clear it forward, but it's only gonna find Jim Jams. Takes a shot. Chaos Region should have this. And he does. Send it straight back into the other half. Belinda now gonna chase this one down. Forces a pop. 2 people committing on that one. Should be open, but Krollex makes his way back with 0 boost. Bails Bro Community out of danger for now, but Belinda gonna get it over 2 again. And this is where all that pressure is coming from. They just double commit so much, bro, community. It looks like they've lost the magic that they have had early on in this series and even throughout their run today. Maybe the nerves have finally started to kick in once they started getting punished in the last game.
Yeah, no, most definitely. The nerves from Berserker's Drengir have been diminishing as the series has been going on. Blinde's been the one who really has turned on his A game since that timeout break. You saw the placements, you saw how more aggressive he's been playing. As that ball goes into the middle, however, it's going to go straight to Krolix. Krolix now is going to have full control of this ball. He's going to look for the dunk, but it's unsuccessful here. Chaos now is going to have to take this into his own corner and try to build some pressure. Now, Jim Jams is going to miss the read there, and Blinde is going to take control. Chaos is looking to cause chaos here. However, nothing's really going to be made. Hendrik now to the backboard. Krolix now is going to try and get a follow-up. Chaos now, can he get the shot off? No, there's a 50-50 with Jim Jams, but pressure coming in from Bro Community, which hasn't been seen in quite a while. Hendrik now is going to try and force this into the middle, but now there's a double commit coming in and a back pass needs to be happening. Krolix now will take full control of this ball, gets past one with his first touch, tries getting the double tap with the backboard, he tries going fast. Chaos Region will get the follow-up shot off the backboard. 2-1, and Bro Community start to get their lead back.
Yep, and it's a good place shot. Belinda just not able to get there in time, and all of a sudden, Bro Community starting to show a bit of life again. It was some good pressure and it was a good finish at the end. Just what we've been used to seeing from them. However, this kickoff looking to be in favor of Drengir, but a bit of a whiff comes through from Jim Jams, a bit of a whiff from Janso, and all of a sudden it's becoming very dangerous in that Drengir half. But a bit of a misplaced pass means that I was gonna say Drengir was gonna be able to take it out, but that is a misplay and a half, and it leads to Krolix hitting Hendrik, just putting it onto Belinda, being awkward as he can be, and Hendrik putting it in. And this game is all tied up. We're not done just yet.
Yeah, I know, it was a great drop down pass coming in from Hendrik. However, Blinde gets that touch, which sets up Hendrik perfectly to convert the chance. It's a catastrophic mistake coming in. Now, pitch coming in for Bro Community. They pile on the pressure, as I can also confirm Mistaken have confirmed their grand final spot as well. They've won their series 4-2, so the winner of this will go against Chrome's Husky. Krolix now will try and get that double tap. Also, Chaos now going for that 50, which is unsuccessful. Blinde has an open net, and it's 3-2 to Drengir. And right now, Drengir looking like they're trying to force that 5th game as they take control of this game once again. They've stopped the Bro Community momentum and they fixed up their own game.
Yep, great read from Belinde. He is pushing up that field, looking to relieve some pressure from his team, getting one of those players to track back, but they choose not to track back, and instead just 2 of them gets beaten in one touch, and their 3rd man is not back yet. So that is Blinde with a completely open net, and he makes it count. Not unlike someone early on in this series, was not able to do so, and as I said, that is what makes or breaks these series. And he goes to show if they can close out this game. Drengir looking in the advantage right now. They will be having the advantage going into the last game, I believe, because oh my, they've been playing well for these past 2 games.
Yeah, no, they must definitely be playing exceptional. And that man there has been putting on his A-star performance as the comeback has been pulling forward. Blinde once again with a perfect placement, catching out Bro Community in their rotation to double up the lead late. It looks like we're going to go to a 5th game. We're going to go the distance for the third time on this B stream. If Bro Community don't have anything to say about it, but that time is ticking down. Blinde gets another touch and a 50-50 coming in. Time has been spent. A 0-second attempt coming in from Bro Community, but Janso's gonna force it to the side, and we've got Champions Field once again. Bro Community now with their tournament life on the line once again, and Berserkers Drengir looking for the reverse sweep.
Wouldn't be the first time today that a reverse sweep is on the cards. Early on, I thought a timeout was called 1 sec, but Early on, we had a reverse sweep coming, in fact. I'm pretty sure you were there for that one, Tino, so talk me through it. What would it mean to be able to cast 2 reverse sweeps on the same night?
Yeah, no, it'd be something special, really. 2 reverse sweeps, 1 best of 5, 1 best of 7. There will not be a timeout called here. It just looks like there's just going to be a substitution with Pixel Glitch getting back into the game. Chaos Regen is going to leave, and I think we have a wonderful Game 5 getting ready. Bro Community trying to fix up their play once again. And this day, to be fair, all 17 games were played today, and Champions Field calls for our name for the 3rd time. Bro Community, do not call the timeout. Drengir are on fire right now. Who is going to win this game number 5? Champions Field incoming. Let's see what happens for the 3rd time this stream.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how that substitution is gonna work. We're not gonna be seeing him just yet, but his teammates are gonna show that they are here to play. They get the first goal of this series, of this game, and you guys know how that's been going so far. In this last game, 4 seconds in, it is Bro Community taking the lead. We have another kickoff already. Belinde, the man to take it from Drengir. He's gonna beat Jim Jams on the follow-up. This is gonna get beaten. Krolix gonna try and push it forward. Gets it past this man, Pixel Glitch. Gonna take it up. Endrick gonna take it away from him. Gonna take it slow off the wall. Gets it past Belinde. Yanso is up. Jim Jabs cannot make the save. And Endrick getting the second one. Krolix and Endrick been part of the play on both these goals, and they've come to play in this Game 5.
Yeah, no, Endrick's been playing bully ball in the middle, forcing that ball through Jim Jams. Bro Community doubling up the lead in 20 seconds of gameplay in this Game 7. And Endrick now is going to try and take the shot again. And will he try and force something here? Collins will take the shot here, off to the near post, but it's off. Now, Pixel Glitch, the man who got subbed in for this game, is going to try and force more pressure, but Yanso's going to be there in time. Endrick now going into the middle to Yanso. He's going to try and slam it down here, but he's going to try and continue to play in the ball. He's going to go in the corner. Endrick now to the left side wall, but Jim Jams is going to have the shot. Is it high? No, it's not. It was on target, but Endrick did need to get that save out, which he did. Pixel Glitch now. It's going to go straight up, but Blinde gets that touch off the read. Now, Jim Jams gets that one touch ready to try and cause some pressure. Endrick goes off to the left. Jim Jams gets one touch, looking to start a play, trying to get this ball into the middle. Yanso's going to get touched. However, it's a booming clay straight to Endrick. Endrick tries going for the shot. It goes low to Jim Jams, and Jim Jams has full control of this ball because Endrick was looming. Pixel Glitch now with the 50 going up against Jim Jams, but Berserkers now have the ball. It's Game 5 here so far. Bro Community Blinde with the shot. Endrick gets the save. He tries flicking over one, which he does. Gets it past Jim Jams. Off the pass of the wall. Pixel Glitch now looking for the shot, but Yanso gets the save. Krolix now off to the left side wall. It looks like it's open. It is open! And splashing through the field is Krolix once again. He's doubled up his goal tally in this game number 5. He's tripled the team's score. It's 3-0. To Bro Community in this Game 5. It looks like this reverse sweep will be denied.
What a touch that was from Krolix, pinching it on the sidewall, straight down to himself, and no one on the field knew that was going to happen, except for one man. The man who then ended up burying it in the back of the net. 3-goal lead for Bro Community. A mountain to climb for Drengir. Make it 4 as we speak. It's going to be Krolix getting a hat trick in this lower semi-final, putting him it's basically him telling his team, we are gonna be there for that lower finals, and we're gonna be there showing up warm. They've been gone for 2 games, but they're straight back in it once it comes to this Game 5.
Yeah, no, Husky's revenge is looking imminent. They're wanting that rematch once again. However, that's a big mistake there coming up from Bro Community, but Blin can't convert it. Jansen now is going to try and get it to the middle, straight to Jim Jams, who converts the chance. And the Berserkers aren't going down without a fight. It's not even halftime yet. 5 goals have been scored, but 4 have gone to Bro Community here. Bro Community do have this lead, but it is not yet over here, as Berserkers are going to try and start crawling back.
Still 3 goals to find for them. It's a good kickoff. Gonna be Yanso here. Almost gets it over Krolix, but a little bit of a touch will buy him time. Belinde tracking back, 0 boost. Has to get something for Yanso and does. Yanso now touches it. Belinde charging it down, gets a 50. Jim Jams should beat. He does. He's gonna now charge into the corner here. Belinde gonna take it away. Is there a follow-up? No. Yanso tracking back. Wise decision from him. He's gonna be able to deal with this situation right here. Puts it forward. Jim Jams just gonna put some pressure on that for Endrick to make sure he doesn't do anything that they don't want. Krolix now gonna try and take it back, but gets punished. This pass finding Yanso onto the backboard now. It's gonna be Belinde. A nice little shot, but it doesn't creep its way through. Krolix is very much capable of managing that situation. Now puts on a chance for Pixel Glitch to bury a shot, but it's not good enough. Endrick gets punished. He's not back quick enough. He gets a demo, but it's Belinde once again creeping through that back line and finding that open net.
Yeah, no, it's Belinde once again, the man who was on fire for Berserkers, trying to relight a spark for this team as they are down now by 2 goals only. Endrick and Belinde now with a dead ball kickoff. Jim Jams is going to try and get the 50. Endrick now is going to try and force a shot. Krolix has an open net, but Belinde gets it out in time. Endrick now is going to force it into the middle. However, there's 3 Berserker players charging in for this ball, dying for a comeback here. But Pixel Glitch is going to try and get past 2. It passes back down to Belinde after Jim Jams gets the touch. And it's just going to go to the left side now. Endrick straight to Yanso, to Jim Jams, who's going to play it up high. Now, Krolix is going to try and force it into the middle. Endrick now is going to get the touch. Yanso is going to try to do something with it, but it's just going to be forced into the corner. Berserkers, they're on borrowed time here. They need 2 goals quickly, and that's one way to get gifted 1. Jim Jams has missed! That's 1 goal you don't want us, that you need to go in. And that is a catastrophic error in a game 5 of this magnitude. However, Belinde now has a shot. It's in. 4-3. It's only 1 goal now. Can the comeback possibly happen in this game number 5?
This might be the most unpredictable gameplay in this tier that I've ever seen. I have seen a lot of series in this tier, but oh my, it's back and forward. Just as we all thought this series was already closed out. Not once in this series did we think that. We fought it like 2 or 3 times for sure. When Bro took that second game, we thought for sure that was it. When Drangier took the 4th game, I thought for sure they were just gonna close it out in the 5th. When Chumps, Bro, got 3 goals before Drangier was even able to get 1 chance in this final game, I thought for sure it was over, but every single time I've been proven wrong. It is only 1 goal separating them. 20 seconds left. 1 goal to find for Drangier. Can they do it? It is cleared straight back, making that task ever so difficult for them. Krolix gonna hang on to this one. Belinde challenging. Gets a good 50 here. Endrick gonna track back. He's gonna touch it, but it's a poor touch. Jim Jams gets a chance. Lobs it on target. Krolix keeping it out, but it's still Yanso on the ball. Is he gonna go for the flip reset? No, he just chooses to take a touch. But the follow-up is not there. Chomps drops it down. They will be making their way to this lower finals. It was not easy, but they got the job done.
Yeah, no, a battle coming in from Bro Community and Berserkers. Berserkers were so close to getting this reverse sweep. However, Bro Community stood tall. Krolix with a hat-trick and Endrick with the final goal to see off Berserkers and their reverse sweep attempts. Bro Community win this series 3-2, and they will have their rematch again against Chrome Esports' Husky. Now, as we see this post-series stats here, it was a back-and-forth game, equal goals, almost equal saves, but you see there the demolitions. It was a more destructive game from Bro Community, as we can see the MVP for this series is going to go to Krolix, which is unsurprising here. 1,800 points with 5 goals, 6 assists, with 4 demos as well, and 4 saves. It was an absolutely brilliant series coming from Krolix and the entirety of Bro Community. They will move on to the lower final.
Yeah, Krolix getting that MVP. 5 goals for him. 3 of them in the final game. He had an absolutely beautiful game. I talked about it early on in the series when he had that game where they all scored a goal, but he had 2 assists on top of that. The only one on his team to have at least 1 assist. He played magnificently. He was a bit gone for 2 games, I will say, but doesn't matter, bro. Able to get it over the line come game 5, as we know that they are able to bring that home. And yeah, I think I don't know if we still want to do it, but we had a couple plans of doing some playoff bracket. Just go through how this bracket has been today. Of course, you mentioned earlier being around for all of the B stream, but let's start with the upper bracket here. Purpose taking out Origin, putting them down in that lower bracket on the first series of today. Chumps and Husky, it went Husky's way. They took it in game 6. Now Purpose after that taking out Husky, sending them down to the lower bracket where they're going to be facing Bro, and their journey has not been easy either. After being knocked down by Husky, they had to fight Anubis that was coming off a Screamer, beating Xinjiang in that first round of the lower bracket today. Then it was a game 5 win for Bro. Then they went on to win in a game 5 against Drinkier right now. That if looking through it, they had won game 5 against Rifle early on, but Origin looked pretty easy. And I must say Origin looked pretty defeated after getting knocked down into that lower bracket from Mistaken. That is what happened today. And now, why don't you talk us through some talent predictions that we've had in this community here?
Yeah, no, as we go through the talent predictions, we see all these brackets. A lot of people such as Ark, Tezik, and Maisie still have, and just a bunch of people still have Mistaken and Bro community still in the top 3 and their top 2. Only Ark and Zach have the top 3 perfectly correct. A lot of brackets got ruined after Nexus got 0-2 in that bracket there, and we'll see what happens throughout this tournament here. And most people have Bro community and Mistaken winning. It's equal 4-4 with Nexus and Godalians both being eliminated with the other 2 predictions here. As we head back now, and we can now say that all of this B stream action is over for today. It's been absolute chaos from a best of 7 reverse sweep to start things off, with Mistaken taking it over Nexus Esports. Then we saw Bro community take a 3-2 win in a back and forth series with Godalians. And now, after this game here, we had an attempted reverse sweep once again, but Bro community were able to stay firm and stay strong and win the series 3-2. Thank you so much for watching the B stream action. If you go back now to the A stream, where there is a little break going on as we're seeing things off here, we will see the lower final between Bro community versus Chrome Husky, and then you'll see the grand finals as the winner of that goes against Mistaken. I've been Tino this whole stream. Joined with me have been Hodge, Jasmine, and obviously Veil to my side. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Veil, have you got any last words?
Nope, I think it covers it pretty well. Thank you all for following along. And yep, hope to see you in coming streams as well.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.